Game starts in about half an hour, and I could not be more excited. We're going to jump into team news in a few minutes in terms of who the teams are for this game. Obviously, just waiting for people to pop onto the live stream. As I said, I'm tremendously excited. I think it's going to be an absolutely phenomenal match. Obviously, Manchester City only 1 point ahead of Liverpool. Looking at Liverpool, they have a better goal difference. And I would argue they've been in better form. So this is going to be a battle for the ages. What a game it's going to be. I am so excited for it. As I said, this obviously is a live stream. No one's really tuned in yet. I'm only really expecting people to tune in the next few minutes. Thought I might as well start this anyway. Whoever shows. Whoever doesn't. Let me get on screen right now, or at least prepare for when people do come on, so that we can see the starting 11 for this game. Because there are definitely some big names, and I think in terms of squads in the Premier League, definitely by far the best squads in the Premier League, not just in terms of ability, but individual-wise. They are two top teams at the moment. And I could not be more excited for it. I think it is going to be a phenomenal game. As I said, we'll jump into that in a second when we've got a few more people. Hello, Finn. How are you doing? Hi, how are you? I am doing great. Obviously, Manchester United fan, so I am watching the title decider being played between my two biggest rivals. So I could be better. I could be better. But I'm looking tremendously forward for this game. And you, Ashmid, how are you doing? I hope you are doing well this weekend. Hope life is treating you well. As I said, going to be a tremendously exciting game. I'm looking very, very forward to it. Let's see if I can share the screen for when the starting 11 is all ready to go. Where is it? Share screen. Share screen. Let's get to Chrome tab. Let's get to Premier League. I think it should show on screen nowish. Is it showing on screen now? It should be, I hope. Okay, so you guys can see on screen right now, obviously, Liverpool versus Manchester City. Looking at the Manchester City squad, once again, you don't expect anything less but a star-studded squad. Obviously, Kyle Walker in the right-back position, Cancelo on the left-back. I think that's to be expected. Edison between the post. Laporte and Stones, once again, no Ruben Diaz. That's obviously maybe a bit of a weakened defense without him. But I still think that's a really, really solid defense. I would almost argue that Laporte has almost been the best centre-back for City so far this season. He's just been brilliant. Obviously, with Manchester City, you've just got that depth all the time in your squad. Looking at the midfield, Bernardo Silva has had a brilliant season. Kevin De Bruyne, best midfield in the world, in my opinion. And Rodri, once again, such a good defensive midfielder, and this City team just doesn't stop with quality. Raheem Sterling, obviously Gabriel Jesus, hasn't been providing the goals this season, but assist-wise, one of the top in the Premier League this season. And Phil Foden. Manchester City are not playing games this season. This is such a strong squad. How does it compare to Liverpool? Obviously, Liverpool have Alisson between the posts. Wouldn't expect anything else. Obviously, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Robertson, both have been brilliant this season. In terms of assists, I think they're the top two assist providers in the Premier League at the moment. Obviously, Virgil Van Dyke, Matip, two brilliant centre-backs. Thiago, Fabinho, Henderson, three brilliant midfielders. A very, very strong, very kind of defensive midfield for Liverpool. But versus a very attacking Man City, I don't know what else to expect. And of course, the front three, Sadio Mane, Diogo Jota, and Mo Salah. Maybe the best front three in the world at the moment. I mean, forget the Premier League, in the world. They are brilliant. So I am definitely looking forward to that one. I think it is going to be a brilliant fixture. More comments over there. I'm great too. This is just mental how Pool and City is the biggest game of the season. I gutted as a United fan. I couldn't agree more. But by far the biggest game, because let's be honest, whoever wins this, they're going to win the Premier League. I solidly believe that, and I'm going to stand by that. Definitely. Obviously, more comments. Quite an interesting front three for Man City, by the way. Do you think Mahrez deserves to start? To be honest, I think Mahrez almost always deserves to start, to be honest with you. Saying that, Foden been brilliant, Sterling been brilliant, Jesus, when it comes to assists, has been good. So, I mean, if I started Mahrez, maybe I would have moved Foden centrally and then Mahrez to the right wing. But yeah, definitely an interesting one. City all the way. I see we've got a City supporter here. Obviously, good luck to City, good luck to Liverpool, good luck to both teams. And I can see they've got on the field at the moment. They've got the Premier League trophy. They're teasing people. They're getting ready for the Premier League. But guys, got a very interesting concept. I've actually got with me. I'll get into it in a second. I've actually got a little game that we can play. Maybe a combined starting 11 between the two teams. Yeah, we can just choose the best combined starting 11 because I thought that might be a fun game to play in the in the run-up, in the lead-up, if you want to call it that, to the game. Obviously, just share it on screen now. You guys should be able to see it now, I think. Yeah, and we're going to be putting together a starting 11. I see it's still loading. Give it a second or two. And there we go. We're going to be putting together a starting 11. Yeah, as I can see, once again, City getting a lot of support in the comment section. Agreed man, Foden it off. Yeah, I think I almost would have moved Foden to a central kind of area. But once again, as we know, when it comes to Pep Guardiola, he's known for his really weird decisions. But yeah, heading into the starting 11, combined starting 11, I was wondering, what are you guys thinking? And I think personally, in terms of me, there is a standout name that always deserves to start between these two teams. And you guys know exactly who it is going to be. It has to be, where is he? Connection's tiny bit slow. But of course, it has to be Mo Salah. To me, the only guaranteed player in this combined starting 11. I do want you guys to contribute as well. I want you guys to put down in the comment section. Who would you guys put in this combined starting 11 as we get into it? Damn, man, great idea. Starting 11. Thank you. Really appreciate that. Yeah, just thought might have a bit of fun as there are still 20 whatever minutes left until the game. Yeah, I'm going between two screens at the moment. But I personally think when it comes to the goalkeeper position, I mean, I don't feel sorry for Brazil at all when it comes to their goalkeepers. They've got Alisson, they've got Edison. I mean, two of the leading Golden Glove runners so far this season. I don't feel sorry for them. But of course, who do I think should be the better goalkeeper? Who do I think is, for me personally, I am a major fan of Alisson. I think he's really good. I think he makes less mistakes than Edison, obviously. Yeah, so for me personally, I have to go for Alisson Becker. I don't know if anyone necessarily disagrees with me on that. Yeah, Alisson and Edison is kind of a 50-50. It could 100% go either way. As I said, for me, I just slightly prefer Alisson for whatever reason. I just think he makes less mistakes, and think I trust him a bit more between the posts. I think moving into defense, obviously looking at the right back, Kyle Walker or Trent Alexander-Arnold. Now, look, no disrespect to Kyle Walker. He is the man. He's been around for time, but I have to go for Trent. I mean, obviously, the top assist provider in the Premier League this season. I mean, considering last season he had an awful season, I think he is back to his best. And yeah, I would say maybe this could go down in his best ever season. He has been brilliant. On the left back side, it is going to be between Cancelo and Robertson. Now, once again, Robertson also the second top assist provider in the Premier League this season. Look, I like Cancelo. I think defensively he might have what Robertson lacks. But to be honest with you, Robertson's performances over the last over time, over the last few seasons, and especially this season. I mean, he's just a no-nonsense kind of fullback, and I kind of have to put Robertson there, which I know this isn't going to look great for Manchester City fans, considering the fact that I don't have any Man City players in here yet, but I do promise I do have some at least planned to go in here. Let's see. Let me go back to the chat. Does anyone say anything? Cancelo as left back. Yeah, once again, as I said, it's kind of a tricky shout. I fully understand why you say that. Yeah, I think in terms of left backs, he's brilliant, considering he's not even a left back. I think he's such a brilliant player to be able to play on both flanks. But for me, as I said, for some reason, Robertson's just a special kind of player. I think it's also because I really like him in terms of his personality. To see the kind of jokes and pranks and kind of the comments that he makes on social media. Definitely a likable guy. I think also kind of looking at the starting 11 between the two, another player that is guaranteed a spot in the starting 11 has to be good old Kevin De Bruyne. Obviously, in terms of goals, has been brilliant this season. Assist-wise, believe it or funnily enough, hasn't quite been there, although he is known for that. Obviously holds the record along with Thierry Henry for the most assists in a Premier League season with 20. But of course, once again, this season, he's been providing in other places. Brilliant midfielder, my opinion, best midfielder in the world. I can't not put him in there. Centre backs, you think is going to be between Matip, Diaz, and Van Dijk. I think that is a very, very, I think those are the three most solid shouts. For me personally, I do feel like you do need at least one Man City player in there. And I do think that has to be Ruben Diaz. Yes, I know he has missed games here and there, maybe not as prominent as he was last season. But once again, Ruben Diaz, absolutely brilliant centre back, has been brilliant for Man City when he has played this season. And I really can't fault him, to be honest with you. And of course, the other centre back is going to be a player that you just mentioned, Virgil Van Dyke. I think good old Virg. I mean, what a man. This man will go down almost as a Liverpool legend. I feel like ever since Virgil van Dijk arrived at Liverpool, things have been different, I think that was kind of the turning point for Liverpool in terms of their success. And I mean, already looking at this squad alone, I mean, if you put these 5, 6, 7 players, if you put these 7 players alone versus most 11 teams, I think that could almost get results, to be honest with you. Just checking comments, if there are any comments. Nope. Heading back to the starting 11. Once again, seriously strong team. I think heading into kind of more of the midfield positions, it's a really, really tricky one, but I am going to go for another defensive midfielder with the likes of Fabinho. Now, personally, it is obviously between Fabinho and Rodri as a defensive midfielder, and I'm not going to lie, it's very, very close. I almost chose Rodri, but I feel like Fabinho has just been the best version of himself so far this season, especially when the African Cup of Nations started. He obviously had to pick up with some big stars missing, and I have to put him in the squad for that. But don't worry, citizens. I do have another Man City player next, and I am going between 2 or 3, and I don't really know who to put, but I am going to put Bernardo Silva. How the hell do you spell Bernardo? Why can't I go back there? Bernardo Silva. Do you want to pop up on screen? Not really. Bernardo. Let me just put Silva because my spelling is just absolutely awful at the moment for some reason. Bernardo Silva. Does anyone see him? There he is, the Portuguese maestro. And of course, heading into the attack, what are we thinking, ladies and gents? Do we say anything in terms of comments? Okay, Foden or Bernardo Silva as a CM. Yeah, as I said, I've just gone for Bernardo Silva. I was very, very close to choosing Foden. It really could be Foden because he is such a brilliant player. But yeah, I've gone for Bernardo Silva because, I mean, he's been brilliant from time to time. But credit to them both. I'll go for Fabinho over Rodri. Yeah, once again, as I said, I tend to agree in terms of that. It's very, very close, but I will go for that. And I think in terms of the starting 11 in the striker position, do I go for Jesus, one of the top assist makers in the Premier League this season, or do I go for Diogo Jota, another Portuguese player in the squad? I might have to. Jota's just been such a brilliant striker. To think that, I mean, everyone thought that Firmino played such a crucial role to Liverpool, and to be fair, he still does. But Jota, once again, he's just been such a brilliant player, and I think he's almost been underrated or underappreciated to a certain extent. And of course, in the left-wing position, maybe the trickiest one or one of the trickiest names in this list. Do I want to go for another Liverpool player? I mean, I don't, but I mean, comparing him to Sterling, it is obviously between Sterling and Sadio Mane that I have to pick. I think it is incredibly close between these two. Now, of course, before I go for them, does anyone have a shout in terms of left wing? I see everyone else thinks the same. What do you think of Mane? Obviously, as left wing, I think Mane seems to be the most obvious shout in my opinion. I'll go with Jota as a left wing, as he's got the headline as two. Well, I'm not really basing this off of FIFA cards. I'm just using that because it's a good visual. It's a nice way to display it. So I'm not necessarily doing this from a FIFA point of view. I'm just building a team. But I do think in terms of a left wing, although Sterling has been brilliant, once again, you do have to go for the likes of Sadio Mane, also picking up an African Cup of Nations this year. Obviously, I mean, just a brilliant overall when it comes for both his nation and of course for Liverpool. But I mean, same goes for Raheem Sterling. He's good for his nation too. But I think that's going to be my starting 11, my best possible combined starting 11, which, to be honest, looking at this, very weird. I mean, I think going into this, I almost expect there to be more Manchester City players for some reason. But I mean, there are only 1, 2, 3 Manchester City players in the squad. I don't know how that's happened. I mean, I feel like 2, 3 years ago, it might have been a different story. It would have obviously been a different story had someone like Aguero still been there, with the likes of, obviously, David Silva also still being there. Some brilliant players have been at Manchester City. But as I said, They do play very well as a system. It is obviously Pep Guardiola's style of management. I think they've got a brilliant manager. Both teams have brilliant managers. But as a team, individual-wise, Liverpool seem to have the better players. I mean, for man. As I said, slightly surprised that it came out so Liverpool strong. But I kind of like it. I think it's a really, really good one. And of course, how about a manager? Now, it's so tricky looking at these two teams. If you had to choose between Jurgen Klopp and, of course, Pep Guardiola, it's a tricky one. Obviously, Pep Guardiola's won a lot more. The amount of trophies he's won has been insane, but he has also worked with a lot more money than Jurgen Klopp before. He's also worked with bigger clubs throughout his career. Where, of course, looking at Jurgen Klopp, I feel like he brings something so unique as a manager when it comes to man management. He is obviously brilliant. We've obviously seen him in the past bring players back from relegated teams, and he's turned them into superstars. I mean, if you think about some of the players over the years with the likes of Wijnaldum, Shaqiri, once again, there's just a whole plethora or kind of display of players that he's kind of brought back from relegation. Robertson from Hull City. Once again, it's a very, very good question, but it's a tricky one. But I think personality-wise, I mean, I'm such a fan of Jurgen Klopp that it might have to be him. But obviously, Pep Guardiola has achieved a lot more. But as I said, that's my starting 11, my best possible starting 11, made out of players from both teams. I mean, I think it looks pretty good, obviously, but it is obviously a subjective thing, an opinion-based thing. But as I said, I like it. I think it is a good-looking team. And of course, we finished this combined starting 11 with 15 minutes until the game starts. As I said, that was a bit of a fun game. I just thought it would be a fun idea to do, and I hope you guys ended up enjoying that. But we have 15 minutes to go. Exciting times. As I can see, Michael Owen, obviously former Liverpool player, obviously won the Ballon d'Or in the Premier League when he used to play for Liverpool. So obviously big player, obviously. By the way, can you choose your manager? Or I'm just getting this comment up there. By the way, can you choose your manager from the spots besides Mane, though? I choose Klopp. I love him. His character and his man management, as you said, is brilliant. As I said, absolutely. Oh, sorry. By the way, you can choose your manager from the spots besides Mane. No, I tend to agree. Well, obviously, you've said that comment agreeing with me. I think Jurgen Klopp, I think just something about him I really, really enjoy. I think on so many different levels. He's such a special kind of character and a special man, definitely enjoy him, man. Definitely not salty that my team is managed by Rolf Ragnick. I'll pretend not to be offended by that. And I'll pretend not to be offended by the fact that my team got managed by a man I hadn't heard of before we started managing them. But no, not salty here whatsoever. But of course, that is the end of the combined starting 11. And I said, looking at these two teams, it is going to be such a game. I am so excited for it. It's going to definitely be a fun one. I can see they're busy showing kind of a tribute to Sergio Aguero, obviously in the stands at the moment. Some of the goals that he scored, obviously for the club, obviously a big player, maybe the most legendary Man City player of all time. Obviously a derby where he is not in anymore. Will they be missing a player like Sergio Aguero for their fixture versus Liverpool? We'll have to wait and see. But of course, as I said, we are in the dying minutes, the last few minutes before the game starts. Should start in about 10 minutes or so. I am very, very excited for it. Obviously, I've been doing a few live streams over the last month or so, or over the last 2-3 weeks. They have been going relatively well. I have enjoyed them, so I have decided to continue them because, I mean, they're quite fun. Even when no one really watches, if I have 1 or 2 people participating. I quite enjoy it. It's like just watching football, having a discussion with people. It's always fun. Man, Owen is always kind of a snake, though. Played for both United and Liverpool on his... I think once again, was that morally wrong? I think to an extent. I mean, you can't play for United and Liverpool. That's my opinion on it. On this note, what do you think of players like Schmeichel or Paul Ince who switched to rivals? Sorry, man, this is out of topic. Oh, no, don't worry. It's not really. I mean, we can really discuss anything football on these live streams. That's what it's all about. It's all fun, and it's kind of still on topic. To me, once again, I mean, if you're going to move to Liverpool, I think that is a big problem because they've always been gigantic rivals. But I mean, if you look at Schmeichel moving to Manchester City, let's be honest, he kind of moved to Manchester City before they were a big club, to be honest. So I'm not too offended because he kind of yeah, once again, I don't view that as moving to a big rival because let's be honest, Manchester City at the time weren't really big rivals for Manchester United. So, I mean, I don't take too much of offense by Schmeichel moving to them. Although legendary goalkeeper for us, let's be honest, he just moved there because, I mean, he wanted to move. He was getting a bit older. So it doesn't really matter. At least that's my opinion with that. Continue the streams. They are fantastic. Well, thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. Yeah, I really, really appreciate that. I do end up enjoying the streams. I'm sure your channel will blow up. Your content is top notch. Well, thank you very much. I'm planning to obviously make a lot more content. Obviously, with the World Cup at the end of this year, I'm planning on doing kind of a World Cup Wednesday kind of thing where every Wednesday I post a World Cup related video. I mean, there's 30 to 40 weeks still into the World Cup or something weird like that. There's like 30 teams in the World Cup. So if I make a team relating to every World Cup team, or if I make a video related to every World Cup team, that's kind of the idea. So I'm kind of preparing for that. That's kind of the idea. Leading up to the World Cup. So hopefully that is good. By the way, I can see my Wi-Fi on the side. I can see the signal says it's not that strong. Do let me know in the comments, obviously, how the Wi-Fi is or the connection. Is the audio okay? Is the visual okay? Hopefully it's not lagging at all. Hopefully it's coming across as good quality. Hopefully. I'm hoping so. Yeah, obviously we have just reached the 10-minute mark. We're about 9 minutes until the game starts. I'm very excited for that, and I've learned my lesson. I now have water with me because I've learned if I stream for up to 2.5 hours and I don't have water, it kind of takes a toll on my throat. But yeah, should be a good one. I am very, very excited for that. Which, by the way, drop your predictions down in the comments below. Yeah, just interesting to see what other people think. In terms of their predictions and their outcomes of the game. For me personally, I genuinely think it could go either way. I would not be surprised at all if this ended up being a draw, to be honest. Once again, it is one of those games where no matter what the form is of the two teams, they just give it absolutely everything. So it could be an exciting one. Obviously, Liverpool have had the better over Man City in recent games, or I believe so, in some of the recent fixtures. Obviously, I'm thinking back to that one Manchester City have had the better of Liverpool in recent. I just think of that game where Liverpool were absolutely dreadful last season. Obviously, Alisson Becker had a dreadful time between the posts, but obviously, I think when it comes to these two teams, it's not about who plays better on the day, it's who makes the least mistakes, because both of these teams are known for capitalizing on their mistakes. But of course, they are showing on screen the Premier League trophy. And as they have just stated, both Liverpool and Man City, the only two teams that could win the Premier League this season. That is gigantic to think about. Obviously, I mean, United as my team, I mean, it absolutely breaks my heart that they're the only two teams that can fight for it, that United aren't in the title race. I mean, at the moment, United's not even in a European spot, not even in a UEFA Conference League spot. So it is sad to hear, unfortunately. I'm going with a draw. Yeah, I think a draw is not a bad shout by any means. Can be a win for any of these teams, but I still feel like a draw. Yeah, totally. I think the only reason I kind of like a win is because I want this to be the title deciding game. I don't want it to be some weird game at the end of the season versus whoever they play on the last game of the season. I think I kind of want this to be the match winner. I do feel like, obviously, Man City being 1 point ahead of Liverpool. If Man City win it, I think they've definitely won it. If Liverpool win it, they only go, 2 points ahead of Man City. Then it's still not quite over yet. But yeah, I do feel like this is obviously the biggest game of the season. I feel like this in general has been like the tightest, maybe the most entertaining Premier League season in terms of every single stage you get in the Premier League table. I think in terms of the title winner, it's been extremely close, and there's a lot of competition in terms of a European spot. Lots of competition, obviously a relegation battle, been really, really competitive. So yeah, definitely been an interesting Premier League season. But as this game proves, it is far from over. Anything can still happen, and we'll just have to wait and see. Looking very, very forward for that. Should be very, very excited. Still waiting for more people to jump on the stream. Once again, whether people do, whether they don't. I mean, I'm watching football, so I've just decided to live stream it because if people join or not, I mean, then it just adds to the bonus of being able to watch a good game of football. We've got another question here, obviously. which team do you want to see holding the Premier League trophy? Like, I know you won't like any of these teams winning the league, but like for me, I think it's better shout. City is a better shout. The only reason being Pool have 20 trophies. Well, the thing is, I agree with you to an extent. Obviously, Liverpool and Man United in terms of the most successful clubs in English history. But I know this sounds like a weird shot, but I almost want to go for Liverpool purely because on a Premier League basis, let's be honest, no one cares about anything but Premier League anymore in terms of modern football. So I would almost say that just because Man City have won so many leagues in a row now, I don't want them to catch United, where at least Liverpool, this would only be their second league. I like Jurgen Klopp. As I said, it's a tricky dilemma because I am a United fan, so you don't want either of your two rivals to win it. But at the end of the day, it's a tricky one, but I might have to go for Liverpool. Ugh, feel gross saying that. It's just not right for me to say I want Liverpool to win. It's not in my nature. Which, by the way, I love how I end up having like a reddish jersey that says glory across it, but yet it's not Manchester United related. There we go. Both teams start to walk out on the pitch. And obviously, Joel Matip's like been under the radar, you know. Joel Matip has been brilliant. Obviously, recently won a Premier League Player of the Month award. But just in general, he's been around for time, you know. He's been so underrated. I mean, moving from Schalke, obviously, to Liverpool all those years ago has been such an underrated signing. He's actually such a beast at the back for Liverpool. I mean, obviously, they always seem to want to almost replace him. People always want Joe Gomez in there. They want Konate. But I mean, let's be honest, Matip is so insanely reliable. Yes, agreed, man. Your point of view is different like that. Yeah, no, it's yeah, as I said, it's a tricky one. It's you never want any of your rivals to win it, but at the end of the day, it's about I'm thinking of it on the grander scale. I just don't want Liverpool to or Man City to catch up with United in terms of Prem trophies. Obviously, looking at the Manchester City squad, they come out on pitch. Edison between the posts, Kyle Walker, John Stones, Laporte, and Cancelo. The back four, obviously a very, very solid defense. Although, weirdly enough, Liverpool looking better on goal difference this season. Kevin De Bruyne, one of the best midfielders in the world, paired up with Rodri and Bernardo Silva, one of the strongest midfield trios in the world at the moment. Of course, with Phil Foden, Gabriel Jesus, and Raheem Sterling up front, the two Englishmen on the wings with the Brazilian in between. And of course, looking at the bench, it is just as strong. You've got your Jack Grealish, £100 million man. You've got Gundogan, Riyad Mahrez. The list goes on of strong players. Looking at the Liverpool squad, we've got another Brazilian goalkeeper with Alisson Becker, obviously Trent Alexander-Arnold and Robertson on the flanks with Joel Matip and Virgil van Dyke in between. Both of their fullbacks being the two top assist providers in the Premier League this season, with Jordan Henderson, Fabinho, and Thiago, a very defensive yet very, very strong and capable midfield trio for Liverpool, with, of course, Mo Salah, Sadio Mane, and Diogo Jota up front, the three of the top goal scorers in the Premier League this season. With once again such a strong bench with Bobby Firmino, obviously Joe Gomez, James Milner, and so many others. On the bench. Obviously, Luis Diaz, once again, brilliant player for Liverpool. He's shown that in the Champions League. Once again, this game is just so tremendous in terms of their two, or in terms of both teams and how strong their starting 11s are, or their squad depth in general. This is going to be a battle for the ages. As I said, maybe the biggest football match we've seen in a very, very long time in terms of the Premier League. I really do like these two teams in terms of how competitive they are with each other. I'm glad that Liverpool are still kind of in that race. I mean, nothing bad versus Liverpool. But obviously the dominance Man City's had in the Premier League over the last few years, that Liverpool have shown, hey, I'm here. It's not a farmers league. You're not going to win it every single year. So I do like it from that point of view. I am ready. Obviously, the game is about to begin. Let's get into it. Manchester City versus Liverpool, and they show your man Mo Salah on the pitch. It is a great one. Very, very excited. And of course, as I start, helicopter flying over my house at the moment. Maybe it's got water to put this absolute fire of a game out. But yeah, I'm definitely expecting a really, really good one. Agreed. Or let me just get my water. Of course, agreed. I do think Matip always does his job, rarely makes mistakes, and given 7 out of 10 performances whenever he gets to play, I do think he's kind of underrated. 100%. I mean, I'll take Matip and Manchester United. If Joel Matip moved to Manchester United, he would be their best centre-back. I mean, maybe he would battle with Varane, obviously, but I mean, I'm going to make that claim, to be honest with you. Big shout, controversial shout from Finn. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, Game is about to get underway. They, of course, take the knee. Obviously, game is about to begin in the next 10 or so seconds. It is going to be tremendously exciting. Oh, sorry, I smacked my microphone there. That could not have been pleasant. But, of course, game is underway. Liverpool start the kickoff, and the game has begun. The biggest game in the Premier League this season, if not in most recent years. This is a battle for the ages. This is going to be exciting. Oh, of course, we've got our first throw in, Manchester City's thrown. Once again, it's going to be interesting to see both teams in terms of how they play against each other in a game like this. Obviously, I personally think in the Champions League game over the last week that Liverpool played better versus Benfica than Manchester City played against Atletico Madrid. I know they're two totally different opponents. But of course, looking at Manchester City, I felt like in the final third, they struggled versus Atletico Madrid. They could not break them. Where, of course, they ended up winning, so clearly they could. But, of course, Liverpool versus Benfica looked a lot more convincing. It's going to be interesting to see how this ends up going. Agreed, man. Varane and Matip would be good for Manchester United. Dude, I'll take that every day of the week, you know. Of course, Kyle Walker getting ready to take the throne in the Liverpool defensive box. I mean, this would be interesting if they scored early. I think if Man City scored early here, it's like almost game over. You want to be able to score early in a game like this. Of course, Manchester City playing around Bernardo Silva in the box, but of course, it is a Liverpool ball. I'm not sure what happened there, if there was a foul or a handball. But sure, obviously, this is going to be such a tight fixture. Alisson Becker on the ball. He will not want to mess up as he did in the last time or last season when these two teams met up, where he made 2 or 3 horrific mistakes. But as we know, one of the best goalkeepers in the world rarely makes mistakes. Brilliant player on his day. Manchester City take a quick throw and it goes all the way back to Edison. I genuinely don't know what to say about these two teams in terms of who I think is the better team here. I think it is literally so neck and neck. These are easily two of the best teams, if not the 2 best teams in the world at the moment. I mean, maybe Real Madrid is up there, maybe a Bayern Munich, but these two teams so incredibly strong. I saw someone post earlier today on social media that there's no big 6 in the Premier League anymore. It's Manchester City, Liverpool, and 18 other teams, which I found that quite funny. But of course, another foul. Obviously, Virgil Van Dyke commits a foul in the likes of Gabriel Jesus. You'll want to be careful. You won't want to be sent off in a game like that because let's be honest, it's such an important game. Manchester City kind of troughing the ball around back, kind of holding on to possession, not wanting to make any stupid mistakes. Also kind of wanting to draw in that Liverpool attack to create pockets of space for their own players to run into. As you can see, between John Stones and I think that's Cancelo over there, kind of playing amongst each other. Trying to create movement, or to Laporte. And of course, Laporte, has he given away a penalty? No, he's kept the ball cleanly in his own box. They almost heavily regretted that. Obviously, Manchester City playing around in their own box, and it could have been an absolute treasure, a treat for Liverpool if they ended up winning a penalty in the first 3 minutes of the game. Of course, Mo Salah running up the wing, but does not get the ball back from Manchester City. What on earth were they thinking? That was not a smart piece of play. For Real Madrid, Manchester City, Liverpool play on a different league. We Arsenal, Spurs are second level. Yeah, Manchester United, Arsenal, Spurs, second tier. Yeah, 100%. I mean, United still have to prove once again that they're on that level. Because, I mean, losing to Liverpool, losing to Everton, you just can't do that. That should be illegal. You should be given like a fine for losing against a team like Everton, to be honest. Once again, we've spent, although only 4 minutes in, we have kind of kept a large portion of this game in this Manchester City defense. Once again, just looking at the attack of Liverpool, even how attacking their defensive players are, I think Liverpool could really give Man City some problems here. Of course, Man City on a really good run. Kevin De Bruyne gets a beautiful through ball through to Gabriel Jesus. Raheem Sterling with an open net, and Alisson Becker saves it. What a save. And he's kept his team in it. What a save that was. Manchester City could have gone 1-0 up just 4 minutes into the game. How insane would that have been? But of course, Alisson Becker has other thoughts on that. What a save, man. That was insane, you know. What a save by Alisson Becker. And I mean, Gabriel Jesus, what a brilliant piece of play there. What a brilliant pass by Kevin De Bruyne. I wish my Manchester team could have players like that to do that. Yeah, oh my God, Raheem Sterling, what a miss that was. And of course, Manchester City score straight after that. 5 minutes in, they get their first goal. Kevin De Bruyne off of the post. Liverpool can't do anything about that. Manchester City are going to win this. We are only 5 minutes in, but what a play that was. What a counter-attack. I mean, there were 2 attacks straight in a row there, and they had no idea what to do with that. It's a goal from Kevin De Bruyne, and what a goal that was. What a phenomenal goal that was from Manchester City's number 17. You just watch that play. Liverpool foul the Manchester City player, but they take a quick play. Bernardo Silva ends up taking it. Kevin De Bruyne runs around Fabinho, takes a long shot. I think it might have taken a deflection, but off of the post, and you have to love a goal like that. Of course, Joel Matip, the player we were talking about before this game, bounces off his leg. And unfortunately, an unlucky deflection. But of course, doesn't matter who it touched last. It is going to be a Manchester City goal, and the pressure is on. The pressure is on Liverpool right now. What a goal that was for Kevin De Bruyne. He's going to be loving that. As I said, hasn't been providing a lot of assists this season, but goal-wise, he's been up there. You have to love him. And of course, blue flares thrown onto the field, and you have to hate seeing that. Obviously, Manchester City fans that threw them on the field. We have stopped play to get the flares off the field. I mean, I hate that. That's just such... it's idiotic to throw flares onto the field. I mean, you're stopping your own players from playing there. Like, you're disrupting your own players. I get it. You're excited and all of that stuff, but don't throw flares on. What happens if it injures a player? What happens if it hits one of your own players? And of course, you're burning the pitch. I mean, to be honest, you could. I think you should be kicked out of the stands for stuff like that, almost like a lifetime ban. I guess it's an exciting thing in the moment, but come on, you're better than that. Obviously, more comments about City. This is what City's level is. Not like ours, unfortunately. Pressure since minute 1. Yeah, Manchester City just know how to put the pressure on. And I mean, as I said, I think that they are the best team in the world, to be honest with you. Now, of course, checking out Manchester City, they will want to keep onto possession. And they are the kind of team that can irritate teams. They know how to hold onto the ball, how to keep possession, and kind of draw fouls from the opposition. But of course, Manchester City get another attacking opportunity. And Alisson Becker, tiny bit of a fumble in my opinion, but clears the ball away safely. Manchester City keep onto possession. It's kind of weird doing that combined starting 11 in the beginning of the video. I obviously think Liverpool, almost player for player, have a better team combined-wise. But I think Man City kind of having a better midfield kind of puts them ahead, because looking at them, obviously you control the game from the midfield. And that is such a strong play, or such a strong point for Man City to have such a strong midfield over Liverpool. Of course, Kyle Walker, as we know, been England's right back for time now, like a decade at this point. He has, once again, been brilliant from points to point this season. And I mean, to be able to push a player like Cancelo to that left back position and kind of mark the position as his, once again, very impressive from Kyle Walker. Now, of course, Man City kind of keeping it in the back. Obviously, as I said, as strong as Liverpool's team is, also looking at the depth of this Man City team, so strong. To think you've got Laporte and John Stones, and I mean, to have other options such as Nathan Ake, to have Ruben Diaz. I mean, what depth the squad has. Another attacking opportunity from Man City. And is there a penalty in the box? No, I think the likes of Gabriel Jesus just ran over his fellow countryman, just running over his Brazilian teammate, Alisson Becker, in the box. I see what he tried to do there, but not going to work. Virgil Van Dyke, tiny bit of a weird play with him and Alisson Becker. I do feel like they could have communicated that better, to be honest with you. Yeah, I mean, we're only 8 minutes in, and we've already seen so much drama happen. I mean, I feel like this has a potential as a game to be one of those to have like 5-6 goals in it in total. But I mean, could also end 1-0 at this point. Of course, we are approaching 40 minutes into our live stream after doing a combined starting 11, talking about both teams and their starting lineups. Obviously, first 10 minutes of the game. Yeah, it's been a good stream so far. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. As I said, this live stream, let's see if we can push even closer to the 3,100 mark. That would be very, very appreciated. But yeah, very, very exciting stuff. Obviously, Man City, as I said, they will look to keep possession. Obviously, that doesn't always work in their favor. We've seen that in games versus like Tottenham Hotspurs, for example, where they keep onto possession and then they end up losing it. So Man City, although keeping possession, still have to be careful. Once again, they always know how to put the pressure on. City's lineup is really high. It's expected though. No, 100%. City's team it's phenomenal. Virgil van Dyke racing the likes of Raheem Sterling, but Raheem Sterling has nothing on Virgil van Dyke. Obviously communicating a bit better with Alisson Becker on that one. Andy Robertson on that left back side, no one really there to help him. Passes back to Alisson Becker, gets it out to good old Virgil van Dijk, and it's back to Jordan Henderson. I don't think, look, Liverpool, unfortunately, they can't keep the ball the same way Man City does, but I mean, they don't need to. They play a very quick counter-attacking style of football. Liverpool win the ball in a very dangerous area as Edison is still off of his box, but runs back quickly and Liverpool unable to capitalize. Obviously, still have possession though, so it is very, very strong for them. Fabinho keeps onto the ball, gets it back to Henderson. Raheem Sterling putting the pressure on, but not good enough to win the ball back. Andy Robertson gets the ball back to Thiago. Can Thiago create anything special? Gets it to Jordan Henderson. As we know, he can score from long-range distances. Goes to Mo Salah. Is he going to get it to Trent? He is indeed the top assist maker in the league. Gets it back to Mo Salah, the second highest assist maker in the league. This is going to be something special. Of course, City have their one-back possession. No, a bit of sloppiness, but of course, Liverpool managed to keep it. As I said, I think possession is going to be such a huge part in this game. I think you have to be able to keep onto possession with teams like this to be able to do relatively well. Of course, Alisson Becker keeps possession of the ball. Virgil van Dijk, is he going to do anything from it? Andy Robertson running up that left flank. Deflection off of Kyle Walker. It gets to Sadio Mane, but is cleared out by Laporte. Quite an interesting stat. I think Gabriel Jesus has had 19 games without a single goal involvement, and within the first 5 minutes here, gets an assist versus Liverpool. Mo Salah gets a chance from outside the box, but it is stopped by Manchester City, deflected out. Liverpool still have a chance. It gets to Trent, and of course, it is a goal. Liverpool make it 1-1, 12 minutes in, and it is going to be Diogo Jota, third place in terms of scoring goals in the Premier League this season. You love to see it. It is dramatic. 1-1. This is going to be quite a game. As I said, as a Manchester United fan, of course, wants it to be a draw, but you love to see it. You just love to see it. What a game this is going to be. Pep Guardiola, not a happy man. As I said, I think the ball going between Mo Salah and Trent Alexander-Arnold, once again, that connection, it is something special. Wow. What a game, man. It is definitely worth a watch. 100%. What a game. I think this game was always going to be exciting. Robertson gets a great ball into the box, gets it to Trent, and of course, Trent gets another assist for this season. Of course, the top assist maker for the league, of course, gets his 12th assist for the season. I believe it's his 12th. But once again, Liverpool looking so strong. What a game it is. 1-1. It is level once again. You love to see it. What a move, by the way, Diogo Jota was to Liverpool. I feel like he might be one of the most underrated moves in Premier League history. Like, no one ever actually talks about him. You always hear about Mo Salah, obviously, Kevin De Bruyne, all of these players who were terrific moves. But Diogo Jota, brilliant, brilliant move from Wolverhampton Wanderers. Liverpool have gotten themselves a golden man. Obviously, when it comes to esports and real-life football, he is special. Man City on the ball. Once again, a bit more pressure on Man City now as they go back again. They can't just annoy Liverpool. They do have to end up scoring now. Are you joining me? You see the score's 1-1.
What a game.
Yes, what a game.
I think this might be the game of the season.
It is indeed. Hi, Ron. This is my dad. 1-1. Okay, so did you see the goal downstairs?
I did, yeah. What a phenomenal goal. I mean, both have been great goals.
Both have been. And I think it's really... As I said a tiny bit earlier in the stream, I think it's really important scoring early in a game because it kind of sets the standard. So I think both teams scoring early, I don't know if it's going to lift the standard defensively or attacking wise.
Well,
to
I
put a
think
bit more
so,
pressure.
because I think had Liverpool not scored immediately afterwards, then I think it would have turned, the pattern of the game would have turned into a much more defensive game for Man City. But I mean, now it's obviously kept the energy levels up. So I think both sides are going to continue to attack.
Exactly. Like I think you're right. I think Man City kind of would have tired Liverpool out. They would have just irritated them, kept possession.
Correct.
Yeah. As you can see, I mean, they're like forced to attack high now. So that's very, very good. As you can see, we've got a comment for you. A very warm welcome to you. Where's the comment that's showing up on screen? A very warm welcome to your dad. How's your dad doing? Dad, how are you doing in the game?
I'm doing pretty well, thanks. Good football. What else good?
Gabriel
what else
Jesus
could
takes
one
a
ask
shot.
for?
Exactly. No, you have to. As I said, although like we're United fans and it's not like our team, it's an entertaining game. I think it's almost, I would argue that it's the biggest game currently in world football, like this year.
It has to be. It has to be, definitely. And I mean, these are the two best teams, I think, in world football at the moment.
I think so.
And looking in Europe, I mean, it's pretty obvious that these two teams are standing out.
Exactly. Like I still stand by the fact that I think these two teams will be the finalists in the Champions League.
Yeah. I think it's kind of sad in a way that European football is now so strong when it comes to the English sides. I mean, none of the teams are as strong as they used to be.
Exactly. Liverpool get a chance. Are they going to score? Can Edison get it? And he gets it over Mo Salah.
Well done.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I mean, you just have to look back at last season's Champions League final. Was Man City versus Chelsea. Of course, it was only 2-3 years ago where we had Spurs versus Liverpool. So it's very English dominated, but I guess that's why they refer to England or the Premier League as the best league in the world.
Yeah. Well, I guess like sport, and it'll change. The tide will change. And it never stays the same. And I guess that's always the interesting thing about any sport, I guess.
Yeah, no. I mean, you think about the takeover for Newcastle now. In 5-6 years, it could be Newcastle's turn with the amount of money that they've got in their squad.
Or maybe Man United's turn.
We're not going to talk about that. When we don't lose against Everton, I'll back you. I'll back you. It's a bit sad that I think Newcastle could win a Premier League before Man United.
Yeah, that's possible. I think there are a couple of sides that could, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, I back my team, but that's a matter of management. But talking about management, I think these are arguably, in terms of the managers, Pep Guardiola and Jurgen Klopp, the two best managers in the world. Managing these teams.
That's why I don't begrudge either of them winning, even though, as you say, we're United fans, because let's be honest, I mean, there aren't two better coaches in world football, or managers in world football than Pep and Jurgen. So, I mean, that's why it almost makes it difficult to see who to support, because I mean, they're both great. They're both great managers, and they both deserve everything that comes their way.
Exactly. No, I tend to agree. I think it's just because we like a comical side. We like comedy, which I mean you definitely get from both managers. But I think Jurgen definitely
takes the cake.
Jurgen takes the cake on every. I just love Jurgen, and I think obviously him winning less than Pep Guardiola so far in his career, you have to kind of back not the underdog, but the manager who's achieved less.
Correct.
You want him to almost battle or rival in terms of trophies won.
Yeah, I mean, I never thought I'd say it in my entire life, but I mean, I'm kind of rooting for Liverpool, I guess, to a degree.
Yeah, to a degree. Yeah. As I said in the beginning of this video, it's like they're two of our biggest rivals. So, I mean, look, Man City here are playing very well. I think they've kept some good possession. I think Liverpool have also definitely put pressure on, which you want to see in a game like this. But yeah, I think definitely looking at Man City, the trophies they've won over the last few years, different level. And of course, Virgil Van Dyke, once again, that's why you call him the best centre-back in the world. Obviously, stopping a Kyle Walker kind of cross into the box. So as we know, Kyle Walker, dangerously fast and clinical on that right-wing side. But yeah, as I said, looking at Man City, the trophies they've won over the last few years, obviously you kind of want Jurgen to... that's why I'm okay with Liverpool winning the Premier League. Yes, I know in terms of the two most successful clubs, in English football, it's Man United and Liverpool. But in terms of Premier League, Man City could catch up to United eventually. Where Liverpool, this would only be their second, so I'm okay with that. Man City get across into the box, unfortunately not able to capitalize on it, as Liverpool, very steady heads in the box, are able to header it away. Ball's given back to Alisson Becker.
All right, I'm going to leave you. I'll come join you later. I'll catch up.
Are you watching rugby downstairs?
I'm going to watch a bit of rugby.
and make food.
And make some food.
Sounds like a good idea. Thank you for joining me.
The Heineken Cup is on, and that's like the second best sporting event to watch.
No.
You're going to get a couple of people querying who the Heineken Cup is, I'm sure.
Rugby.
Rugby. Catch you later.
I'll catch you a tiny bit later. Thanks for joining me. Yeah, as people are also saying they like Pep Guardiola's attitude. Obviously, Liverpool very steady at the back at the moment. I also like Pep's attitude to his opponents. A humble man. Yeah, once again, as we've said before, the two best managers in terms of their attitudes, you have to love them because they're also, as I said, I feel like from time to time maybe they underestimate their opponents, but both of these managers being two of the best in their field by far, I don't know if they underestimate their opponents too often, to be honest with you. We do see slightly cheeky results from time to time. Of course, Manchester City have a chance at the edge of the Liverpool box. Can they create anything? No, the ball is stolen off of Raheem Sterling's toes. Raheem the Dream could have been a nightmare, could have been the best dream of his life. Of course, Virgil Van Dyke gets it out. Man City have another chance, but it is another deflection. Man City coming thick and fast, but Liverpool, they're not letting them through here. They are not giving them a chance. Of course, red, the color of blood. As they say, blood is thicker than water, and this Liverpool defense, definitely thick. Which, by the way, I'm very proud of that analysis, by the way. If you're not subscribed, surely that comment has earned me a subscription, by the way. But of course, looking at this corner here, obviously Manchester City given another corner against Liverpool. Liverpool have to be, it is better than a goal to get a corner, but Man City eventually could capitalize if they keep on getting corners. But of course, Liverpool started counter-attack. Trent Alexander-Arnold, brilliant. Mo Salah fumbles. Of course, no one's able to tackle Bernardo Silva. Of course, I think it was Jordan Henderson able to get the ball off of him. Of course, Phil Foden, one of the best young players in the entire world, the 21-year-old, calm and composed on the ball, gets the ball out. It goes back to Phil Foden, gets across into the box, met by nobody. Of course, Sadio Mane, obviously the ball once again cleared out by Liverpool. Mo Salah starts a counter-attack. Obviously, he is alone with Diogo Jota. Can he create anything? No. Manchester City, calm and composed. Kyle Walker from the right back side moves all the way to the left back side. Blood is thicker than water. Thank you. I am glad you enjoyed my analysis. I'm very proud of that one, you know. Yeah. Kind of out of topic. Do you hate any managers or have you hated any managers in the past? I don't know if I've necessarily hated any managers, to be honest with you. I've got such a like for like the biggest characters in football. Like I know people hate someone like Jose Mourinho, but to me, I mean, I love someone like him. I love people that bring character to football. So I wouldn't say I've got maybe someone like I've got a least favorite, like someone like a Rafa Benitez who rivaled or managed a rival football club of mine, and to me, I think he's got like no character to him. Oh my word, was that an own goal by Manchester City? It rolls back to their own box. Has Edison made a mistake? That could have been detrimental to their title race. What was Edison doing? That was almost horrific. Cleared right off of the goal line. That's going to have a look back, you know. What on earth was that? Edison. I mean, careful here. You've got two Brazilian goalkeepers on the pitch. It's clear to see who's the better now. You can make a direct comparison. As I said, this is the kind of game where mistakes, they are the difference makers. I mean, if no team makes mistakes and both teams give it everything they have, this game will end in a draw. But if mistakes are made, that will be the difference maker. Diogo Jota kind of just spraying and praying with that shot there. Almost choked. Yeah, you're right. I mean, they almost choked big time. They would have suffocated on a goal like that. That was horrific. Manchester City win a foul. Gabriel Jesus, the Brazilian, rolling on the floor. That phrase has never been said before. No Brazilian has ever rolled on the floor in world football. Of course, they take us back to this highlight with the likes of Edison, of course, missing the ball, kicking the floor, almost ends in an own goal, but of course, kicked off of his own line. How do you do that? As I said in the beginning of the game, Edison is known for making weird mistakes. That's why I personally prefer Alisson over him. I mean, if you just look at my combined 11 that I created when this game began, before the game began, that is why my starting 11 looked like this, because I've got a lot of faith in Alisson as a goalkeeper. Obviously, Manchester City, almost get one back versus Liverpool. That is why I've got Alisson between the posts and not Edison. You don't see Alisson doing that on a regular basis. Excuse me. Well, at least the game is end to end rather than being a defensive game. No, 100%. We're getting chances on that side, chances on that side. You love to see it. It's a very entertaining game. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. And I love it because being so competitive, you'd like to think maybe if there's a winner to this game, that the season's not over, that maybe another team could still catch it after, because whoever ends up making a mistake after this in an upcoming game, I mean, the season's not even over after this game, to be honest with you. As I said, it would be nice if this was the title decider, but both teams really giving it all that they have. I am thoroughly enjoying it. It is a very, very exciting game. Liverpool get a throw in. Obviously, Sadio Mane jumps higher than the skies to get that. Gets it to Trent Alexander-Arnold from Thiago. Trent gets it to Mo Salah, but on the wrong side of the defense, they almost slip up. Edison came maybe higher out than he needed to be 100% honest. Edison gets the ball, did not mess it up that side at that time. No mistakes made there. Man City get the ball back. Kyle Walker gets it back to John Stones. Going to assume, going to get it all the way back to the Man City defense, and they're just going to rest a tiny bit, play with the ball a tiny bit, let things cool down, because that was a very, very tense moment for Man City. I mean, that would have been the end of them. Can you imagine? Edison would have been crucified for a mistake like that. That would have been the end of him. Ooh, John Stones playing on the ball there, being a tiny bit cheeky. I like to see risks in football, you know. I think risks that's what makes football fun, to be honest. That's the entertainment in football. Oh, of course, Man City on another counter-attack. Obviously, the 21-year-old Phil Foden on the winger position. Can he create anything from the wing, or does he have to pass back? He does end up passing back. Obviously, Rodri on the ball. He's going to get it to John Stones. Can John Stones, the centre-back, do anything from back? Does he give it away needlessly? No, he doesn't. He gets it to Cancelo, one of the best left-backs in the entire world. Can he keep it away from Mo Salah? And, of course, it is going to be a throw-in to Manchester City, deflected off of Mo Salah. Yeah, of course. I mean, Kyle Walker's got a handful in a game like this. Phil Foden, once again, on the ball. Can Manchester City create anything? They don't really want to risk losing possession. Of course, almost there, but Phil Foden wins the ball back again. Can he get across into the box? Oh, Gabriel Jesus almost gets it. Kyle Walker. Oh, Gabriel Jesus. Bit of miscommunication. And the ball rolls comfortably to Alisson Becker. Once again, I mean, we've seen some big moments this game. This game has been very entertaining. Like, you're not going to fall asleep during a game like this. Oh, this has been such a thoroughly entertaining game. Obviously, Kyle Walker and Gabriel Jesus, bit of miscommunication. Virgil van Dijk quickly to swoop in on it and stop both of the players from choosing who should take it. Kyle Walker passes it smoothly to Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne wins a foul in a very good area. And I'm going to assume Kevin De Bruyne is going to be the player to take it. And of course, we see our first yellow card of the game to who other than Andy. Good old Andrew Robertson. I mean, as I said, one of the dirtiest players in world football. You love watching him, but yeah, definitely has that side to him. But does try to get out the way. I would not be surprised if there was no card given there. I think it's slightly harsh to give him a card for that, to be honest. But of course, Andy Robertson have to move on with that. Not like the referee is going to take the yellow card back at this point. Of course, the man who was fouled, the Man City, the Citizens captain, Kevin De Bruyne, takes the free kick into the box, but an awful free kick from the best midfielder in the world. Of course, Liverpool start a counter-attack. Trent Alexander-Arnold is on it, tries to trick the likes of Edison, who was off of his line. Unfortunately, doesn't get the necessary or the needed height to score that goal. Obviously, Gabriel Jesus doing really well on that winger side. Obviously, kind of moving out of that striker position, that striker role, which he was originally signed for Man City. He was supposed to be the understudy, the successor to good old Sergio Aguero. But of course, he's done reasonably well on the winger position, I have to say. I've been very impressed with him. Of course, looking at Man City, they are looking to poke an opportunity. Are Man City going to be offside, or do they have an opportunity in the box? Oh, Kevin De Bruyne got the ball, and he just goes wide off the post. He almost makes it 2-1. City almost go up for the second time in this game. Trent could have lofted the ball 100%. I think that's what he tried to do, to be honest, but I think he didn't get the height. I think he scooped it wrong. But I do think Trent did try to loft it. I think he tried to get a bit of air on it, but unfortunately it failed. I think that is what he tried to do. But what a thrilling game. Kevin De Bruyne hits the post, but on the wrong side of the post. unfortunately. But yeah, that all just came from Kevin De Bruyne, a free kick mistake. Liverpool came thick and fast. Unfortunately, Trent Alexander-Arnold didn't quite do what he intended. So close by Kevin De Bruyne. Yep, 100%. As we know, he 100% has the ability to get those. Sadio Mane, once again, some players from Liverpool have been slightly quiet here, but I think that goes down to, how possessive Man City can always get. I don't have any idea in the world where my phone is, so I can't even look up statistics at the moment. Phone, where art thou? There's my phone. There, so at least I can look up statistics during this game every now and then. Of course, Man City, do they have another shot? Nope. Joel Matip, very cool and composed on the ball. And of course, Phil Foden asking for a foul. Not quite how it works, unfortunately. But yeah, looking at the stats for this game so far, if I can get into the stats at the moment, looking at both of these two teams, I mean, Liverpool, 2 shots, 2 on targets. They've been clinical. Man City, 5 shots, 3 on targets. Obviously, in terms of possession, relatively close, with Man City having the bulk of possession, 58%. I'm not too surprised by that, to be honest with you. Obviously, passing accuracy could be the difference maker. Liverpool been slightly sloppy with 74 or 78% passing accuracy. Man City, 84. I mean, Liverpool would hope to get better. I always think if you're going to be the best team in the world or one of the best, you have to have at least an 80% passing accuracy. Or at least that's my opinion, to be honest. Obviously, Liverpool causing way more fouls. I would say that Man City have looked to be the better team as we've approached half an hour of this game. Bro, I do think... Oh, wait. Sadio Mane about to take a shot. Gets it to Robertson, but it does roll off. Obviously, you do think the stream is lagging a tiny bit. And please ignore if your setup is all good. Sorry, just thought something was happening. Oh, I'm sorry if there does seem to be a tiny bit of lag at the moment. I'm not too sure what to do with it. If it's from my side, I'm going to assume it's from my side, so I do apologize for that. Can I check that? Yeah, I'm not too sure if there's anything I really can do about it. Sorry, I think it's kind of just a pray and hope kind of scenario. Sadio Mane gets a chance in the box. Can he do anything with it? Is he going to be fouled by Kyle Walker? Kyle Walker gets it out to Thiago, and it goes to Henderson. Can Henderson do anything from wide? And he scoops it to the Man City defense. Nothing caused by it. As I said, sorry if there is a tiny bit of lag. There's nothing I can really do about it. Anything I do, the stream will entirely crash if I do anything in terms of my laptop or my camera that's connected to my laptop. So I am sorry about that. Let's just hope it fixes itself as things go on. I hope that the stream, in terms of lag connection, comes out good. Yeah, agreed for us. We could not even connect more than 5 passes in the final third. Yeah, look, Manchester United can't even be put in the same sentence as Man City and Liverpool nowadays. Okay, stream is fine. Okay, I'm glad the stream is fine. That sounds good. That sounds good. I'm happy to hear. Yeah, it's going to dip from time to time. South Africa is not notorious for its great internet connection, unfortunately. But yeah, this is the best I have right now. Of course, there we go. The statistics I've just given you, they've given on screen right now with Man City having the bulk of shots or attempts and possession. I think that's just Man City in a nutshell, isn't it? But of course, it doesn't matter how many shots you have. It matters how many goals you have. That is the only stats that really matters. You can have 20 shots and none of them go in. And of course, you could have 1 shot and 1 go in. And that's the most important one. Of course, Gabriel Jesus being brilliant in this game, running down the right wing side. Is he going to create anything? Gets the ball across to the likes of Cancelo. Is Cancelo going to do anything past Mo Salah? Gets it to Bernardo Silva. Obviously, the Portuguese midfield maestro. Been brilliant this season. What can he make of it? Ball gets back to Rodri, back to Kyle Walker. Once again, I'm not going to say Man City have played defensively, but of course, yeah, they've been doing really, really well. Show the score. The score at the moment is 1-1, 33 minutes in. All equal at the moment. It has been a was it a Kevin De Bruyne goal? It was a Kevin De Bruyne goal and a Diogo Jota goal. Obviously, Diogo Jota scoring the first one. Liverpool going from 1-0 up to 1-1 all. Been a brilliant game so far. Get my sip of water as we approach the 34-minute mark. And of course, Man City once again have the ball. Will they create anything? And once again, it just goes wide of the post. Cancelo, as we know, a brilliant fullback, almost scores his first of the match. That would have been brilliant from the Citizen. What a goal that would have been. But of course, is it offside? I think that might have been slightly offside. Of course, takes it in, cuts it inwards, and gets past the likes of Trent Alexander-Arnold. He would hope to do better past that. But of course, once again, hits the post and rolls off on the wrong side. We've seen that once or twice from Man City. And of course, Joel Matip, the big Cameroonian centre-back, clears it for Liverpool. I have to say, Man City have, as I said, it's very, very close between these two teams. But I do feel like I'm way more inclined to say Man City have played better than Liverpool, to be honest with you. Yeah, I think definitely I feel like I have to say City has been better because, I mean, looking at Liverpool, I mean, I don't feel like I could say they have been better. I feel like I could call it even, but I definitely couldn't say Liverpool have been better. Which, by the way, sorry if you guys can hear howling dogs outside. Once again, out of my control. Is there another chance here? Can Liverpool create or can they defend from this Man City? Sterling gets a ball out wide to Kevin De Bruyne, and of course, Liverpool defend. City is really making those in-behind runs behind the Liverpool defense. Yeah, and they're doing really well with it. Agreed, you're leaning more towards Man City. Once again, Man City they seem to be playing the better football at the moment. I do have to say that. But as we know, Liverpool is a team that maybe they won't be the better team throughout the whole match. But they're a team made by moments. When Liverpool switch on from moment to moment, that's when they score. Where Man City, they can dominate an entire game. So it'll be interesting to see what takes over in this game. Of course, once again, Joel Matip, the Cameroonian centre-back, takes advantage of his height and clears the ball. Of course, Man City score! Gabriel Jesus scores. He gets a goal and an assist within the first 36 minutes of this game. Brazilian scores against Brazilian. I mean, Jesus, the Messiah. Jesus, what a game he has been having. Oh my God. Jesus scored. I know, what a goal that was, by the way. I mean, talk about Colby. What a goal that was. Jesus. Who? Jesus. Who? What a goal that was, by the way. Oh, that was such a brilliant goal. Who was that? Cancelo getting it into the box, crossing it into the box. And I mean, Gabriel Jesus from about half a meter away from Alisson Becker gets it into the top of the net. You love to see it. What a goal that was. And of course, pressure is back on Liverpool. And of course, as I said, it's all about not making a mistake that they did the first time, where they conceded immediately again versus Liverpool. What a goal, by the way. Of course, Gabriel Jesus sucking on his thumb. You love to see it. You love to see the cheeky celebrations in a big game like this. Onside. Yeah, the fact that he kept onside. I mean, mental run. That's how you make a run. That's how you make a good run in football. The fact that he stayed onside, that was mental. Maybe one of the best runs this season, to be honest. Liverpool kind of whining for a throw-in, and of course it is going to be a throw-in. What a game by Jesus, by the way. To not score in his, previous 19 games before this or have any goal contributions, and now to get a goal and an assist 30 or 37 minutes versus Liverpool. What a player. I mean, Jesus, he is running for that Brazilian team. He is saying, I can still play for the Brazilian national team. You're not putting someone like Richarlison over me. You ain't putting a Liverpool or an Everton player over me. How dare you? Yeah, I mean, what a game, by the way, this has been. As we approach 40 minutes, within another minute or two, I mean, we are approaching halftime. And as I said, Man City have been better, so we shouldn't really be surprised at the fact that they lead. Now, they deserve to lead. If any team deserves to lead, it should be Man City. Of course, once again, there is a bit of controversy to whether Jesus was offside. Lots of people are claiming that he was offside. To be 100% honest, I would need a bit more of a clear look at that. I didn't get too clear a look at it. But yeah, definitely. I mean, you could not hope for a tighter game. This has been brilliant. I mean, look, let's be honest. It sounds like such a harsh thing to say, but I don't want to say it. But to an extent, Liverpool have been outplayed. Man City have dominated this game. And I don't know if Liverpool can come back from this, to be honest with you. Just looking at the tempo that Man City can play, to be honest. Do I think that Jesus is becoming a player? Oh, wait, I'm just checking the game here. That Liverpool don't make mistakes. Is becoming a player with a profile like Firmino, the City player that doesn't. Yeah, I think potentially, but I think he plays as more of a wide player. I think He plays very similar to Bobby Firmino, but once again, I think Bobby Firmino, that false nine position, he's almost perfected it when he plays in that. Where, Jesus plays more for winger position. But once again, both brilliant players in their own right. But that's my say on that. Maybe to an extent, I see where you're coming from in terms of that false nine position. All really depends. As I said, I would like to see Phil Foden in that false nine position, especially. But yes, the Brazilians, they love their false nines, don't they? Of course, Mo Salah on the ball. Yet to see anything really special from Mo Salah, the Egyptian king in this game. Of course, Trent Alexander-Arnold gets it, and he should have crossed. He should have crossed to Jota. That would have been an easy 2-2 draw heading into the end of the first half. I don't think Trent should have shot there. Night hacker, awful defense. That was shocking defense. You, as a top side, I mean, at this stage of the game, you are warmed up. You are 40 minutes into the game. You can't defend like that. You can't defend like that. You have to be slightly better. And of course, as things stand at this exact moment in time, Man City are 4 points clear of Liverpool with 7 games left this season. Is that too far for Liverpool to catch up? I think they need at least a draw from this game. I don't want the title to be decided now. I want it to be decided on the last game of the season. Let's see if we can keep that happening. Salah was offside, right? Yeah, potentially, but I mean, it doesn't matter. It wasn't a goal either way, but I think Salah might have been. Of course, Joel Matip Thiago on the ball gets it to Diogo Jota. Once again, an absolutely brilliant player. Both teams have a Portuguese number 20. Funnily enough, I've just picked up on that. Joel Matip, once again, brilliant on the ball, moving up really well. And you can see Joel Matip is determined to score himself. So, Man City make a defense. They fall back to Sadio Mane. Sadio Mane wastes his chance, gives it back to Manchester City. What are you doing? You were given a clear chance by your opponent. And, of course, a Man City throw-in in their own defensive area. Mo Salah does not look happy about that. Joel Matip has been brilliant, the way he moves forward. He is so good, as I said, one of the most underrated defenders in the entire league. If Man City end up winning this league, I wouldn't be too surprised if Joel Matip got a team of the year card, or a team of the season, bench card. I think he's been solid, Virgil Van Dyke clears it all the way to Ederson. Once again, let's hope that Ederson doesn't make any mistakes. But as I said, at this point in time, I want Liverpool to score. I am rooting for a draw in this game. It has to be a draw. Of course, got 3 minutes left of the half. Don't know what added time will be yet. Of course, Man City doing what we know they do best. They are keeping possession and irritating their opponents. Of course, Liverpool win back possession with the likes of Fabinho, world-class defensive midfielder, gets it to Mo Salah, but unfortunately just stolen in the air by the likes of Laporte, who was going to win that aerial battle every day of the week. Kevin De Bruyne gets the ball forward to Phil Foden. Can Phil Foden cross into the box? Can Raheem Sterling do anything? And no, he stretches out wide, but unfortunately misses the ball. That would have been over. If Man City went 3-1 ahead of Liverpool before the end of the first half, game over. Kyle Walker, is he going to do anything creative from that right-back spot? Gets back to John Stones, the former Everton centre-back, facing a current and a former rival with Liverpool. Joel Matip defends the ball relatively well versus Phil Foden. And Joel Matip's had a brilliant game in defense, by the way. Hope for a draw or a Liverpool win. Well, you see, as a Manchester United fan, I obviously want a draw. I don't want either of these two teams to win, to be honest. Look, these are the only two teams that can mathematically win the league this season. But I don't want anyone to win it quite yet. I think I want it to be a draw, to be honest with you. But as I said, if one team had to win, I'd rather it be Liverpool. I'd rather have Liverpool win the league than Man City. Just in terms of Man City have so many Premier titles already. I don't want them to catch United. I'd rather have Liverpool get their second. Of course, Liverpool get another chance. Diogo Jota on the ball. Is he going to do anything? No, he fumbles in the box. But of course, the defense ended up winning it. I think it was Rodri slid in, ended up winning it. And of course, if he went in at a funny angle, I think Jota could have won a penalty. But he didn't play for a penalty. He wanted to score, which I like. He didn't just go down in the box. And of course, talking about going down, of course, Raheem Sterling goes down versus Trent. And is Trent Alexander-Arnold going to get a yellow card here? It looks like he's being called in. Trent Alexander-Arnold looks very worried. Is he going to end up getting a yellow card for this? I mean, he touched Raheem Sterling's arm. As we know, Raheem Sterling, I mean, when it comes to, as I said, when it comes to diving, Raheem Sterling's kind of known for it. He's English Neymar, if you want to call him that. I don't know about the talents, though. Liverpool messed up their chances. Or their chance. Big time. Liverpool have messed up a few chances in this game, to be honest with you. Of course, Manchester City about to take it. The greatest, I would argue, one of the greatest ginger footballers of all time. I almost forgot Paul Scholes existed, But put Paul Scholes and Kevin De Bruyne in a midfield together. That would be lethal, Of course, Man City do they get back? No, it's off the post. Man City almost go 3-1 up versus Liverpool in the first half of the game. Aymeric Laporte, the former Frenchman, current Spanish international, almost gets the third for the citizens. What a goal that would have been. And of course, it would have been offside anyway, as Laporte was offside, so it wouldn't have counted. Of course, Liverpool on a counter-attack, but for some reason it is stopped. I don't know. Who is playing as a wing in Liverpool? It is Sadio Mane and Mo Salah, the usual at this point in time. What a save. No, tremendous. Obviously ended up hitting the post. As I said, these two goalkeepers, two of the best, obviously the two leading players at the moment in terms of the Golden Glove. So, I mean, definitely expect a good performance. Salah and Mane as wingers, definitely. What do I mean definitely? They are the two wingers. Ball in back of net, but no goal. I look down for a second and I see the ball in the back of the net, but no one celebrating. I've missed something. Sadio Mane's trim is looking messy. He has to look. I mean, I'm wanting to talk about having a messy trim at the moment, but he needs a bit of a tidy up. Andy Robertson back on the ball, gets it back to Addison Becker. I don't know. I think Liverpool are going to want to try equalize before the end of the half. Of course, there's 30 seconds left of extra time. Let's see if they can come back. Obviously, that is the hope. And I would actually say in terms of the wingers at the moment, although we did start with Mane and Salah as the wingers, I would almost say that Sadio Mane has moved to a striker position and Jota and Salah are almost the wingers at the moment. That's kind of what I'm seeing at the moment. I think, once again, Sadio Mane, as we know, a brilliant trickster on the ball. So him playing centrally is not a bad idea, to be honest. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of the first half. 47 minutes in, Kevin De Bruyne obviously scored a brilliant goal for Manchester City, obviously, an assist by Gabriel Jesus. Gabriel Jesus ended up getting the second goal. Obviously, Man City are leading 2-1. Obviously, Liverpool a goal, Jota goal. What a game this has been so far, by the way. I've been thoroughly enjoying it. What a game it has been. Going down the tunnel, I don't know whether Jurgen Klopp will be happy with Liverpool. As I said, Man City have almost outplayed them, to be honest. Half time, let's go. What a game it has been. As I said, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. It has been a very, very good game so far. What's everyone else's verdict? Yes, man, it's a very fluid front three. That's a huge reason to why I think Liverpool's attack in general works so well. It's because they've got such a fluid front three that they can play in every single position. And that's huge because they can rotate throughout the game. And if you actually think about it, Man City do the same. If you think of Sterling, if you think of Gabriel Jesus and Phil Foden, they're also very fluid in the way that they can move around each other. So, definitely. I like that. I like that comments. That's very good points to pick up on. But of course, we have approached halftime. And of course, Man City is up 2-1. They have dominated in pretty much every single stat except for the fouls conceded or fouls caused, obviously. But I've enjoyed this game as a whole. I think it's been very exciting. We've seen a few balls at the post. Obviously, a few mistakes. Edison almost had an absolute howler on his own line. So it's been a very, very entertaining game. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. It's been a very, very good one. And now I'm busy watching some sort of, not Adidas, but some sort of football advert on TV. It's got Marcus Rashford in, and it just upsets me the fact that I would argue Phil Foden has a brighter future than Rashford now. And it breaks my Man United heart. But yes, man, most of the top teams have front three. There's I would say interchangeable positions. I tend to agree with you on that one. I think, well, except for Man United, obviously. But if you look at a Chelsea, from time to time, they also have a very interchangeable, very fluid front three. If you look at a team like, as you said, most teams in the world, if you think of the great Barcelona MSN days, I mean, Suarez, Messi, Neymar, they could all play in all three positions. If you think of current PSG with Messi, Neymar, Mbappe, they can all play in all three positions. You know what? That really is the truth, that an interchangeable front three or very fluid front three can make a world-class team. That is definitely true. And then you've just got Bayern Munich with Robert Lewandowski up front. And they're quite happy with that. But of course, as I said, halftime 2-1 to Manchester City. I've enjoyed this game. It's been a very, very good, very entertaining game. I do think I am going to go make myself a cup of coffee now. So, of course, I am going to be back in just a few minutes. Have I got a sign that is ready to put up just to say that I'm going to make coffee? I am going to take a halftime break. I will be back in a few minutes. I'll see you guys in 5. I realized that I'm muted before I finished talking. I'll see you guys in 5 to 10 minutes. Awesome. And I am back. Half time. Okay, let's go. I'm so sorry for Rashi. I even had a dream where I met him and I got to autograph stupid though. I really want his career to turn up. He's 24. I mean, look, Marcus Rashford is still young. Let's be honest, he can turn things around. Once again, do you say it's Manchester United's problem? Can he turn around at Manchester United? I think that is the big question. But, I think Rashford, he's proven that he can be a brilliant player. But whether he can do that at United, it's a tricky one. Also, could he do it abroad? I mean, let's be honest, he's not good enough to go anywhere big enough to really have his name shine. He can't go to a Real Madrid, a Barcelona, Bayern Munich, a PSG, any of those. So, once again, it's tricky to think of where Rashford can go. And in terms of Premier League clubs, let's be honest, he's too big to go out on loan to a team like an Everton, to an Aston Villa, to a West Ham, to teams like that. Although maybe West Ham's a good shot. Actually, now that I'm talking about it, West Ham are higher up on the table than Man United. What nonsense am I talking? But yeah, I don't know what's going to happen to Marcus Rashford. It's a tricky one, but yeah, you're right. He's only 24 years old. I think could definitely still turn things around. As I said, it is half time. Obviously, Manchester City are beating Liverpool 2-1. It is a tremendously exciting game, Obviously, Cancelo proving that he is an absolutely brilliant left back. Obviously, Gabriel Jesus has had an absolutely brilliant game. It has been proven that his goal is onside, obviously, by Joel Matip's leading foot or dragging foot. But yeah, been a thoroughly exciting game. I've definitely enjoyed it on so many levels. Obviously, I mean, they're busy showing replays of that second goal, and the likes of both Jota and Trent Alexander-Arnold, either of them could have man-marked Jesus. None of them really chose to. I mean, look, Trent totally left Jesus open, and that's why he ended up scoring that goal. Which, by the way, I've just realized my microphone is so far away. Hi, I hope that's a lot better in terms of sound. I'm sorry. I kind of left you in the dust, left you on the floor. I am here, I promise. Yeah, definitely been a fantastic game. I've enjoyed it on many levels. It's been a good one. Been a really, really good one. And of course, I mean, looking at the table as a whole, I think in terms of the top four flights, to be honest with you, not fight. I think it's been very interesting. Obviously, West Ham have just lost, 2-0 to Brentford. Brentford have been brilliant after smacking Chelsea 4-1 last week. Obviously, looking at Arsenal, they've just lost another game, 2-1 to Brighton, after losing to Crystal Palace last week. So, I mean, every team in the world seems to really want to give Manchester United European football, but they just don't seem to be taking it. But of course, today, it is a day when we talk about winning titles. Liverpool versus Man City. It is great to see. It has been lovely. And obviously, thank you for all the support to anyone who has clicked onto this live stream, who has clicked on it. Once again, whether I expect high views for live streams like this, no idea, but I do appreciate all the support anyway. It always helps, even if there's only ever one person watching my streams. I do always appreciate the support. So thank you, everyone, for that. But of course, it should only be like another 2-3 minutes until things come back, to be honest. I'm not expecting too long a break. No. Yeah, almost time for the live stream the live stream is back, but for the game to come back, we're just having a tiny bit of a break. As I said, I'm expecting another 2 or so minutes for the game to start. But until then, we've got our lovely adverts. But of course, to everyone watching the stream, what do you guys think of the stream so far? Have you guys enjoyed the game? Has it been what you guys expected? All of that kind of stuff. As I said, I have definitely enjoyed this game. Been really good. And of course, we are a minute and a half or 2 minutes away from approaching an hour and a half on this live stream. As I said, I've really enjoyed it. As I said, I mean, my last 2 live streams have done extremely well. I mean, my World Cup pool prediction video or my live reaction, I mean, that did really well. Before that, South Africa versus France as a friendly, that did well. But as I said, even if my live streams don't do well, I mean, at the end of the day, I wanted to watch this football match at the end of the day. And if I could get just people watching with me, if I could create content from it, I mean, it's just a bonus, to be honest. So I'm definitely not going to complain about that. And of course, what a way to end off your weekend, to end off your Sunday, but with one of the biggest clashes in football, in modern day football, obviously, Man City versus Liverpool. Love to see it, love to see it. But yeah, definitely been a good game. I think, as I said, I think looking at Man City, they have dominated in terms of pretty much every single stat. I mean, if you look at them, let me just get it on screen right now. If you look statistically, I mean, Man City, 7 shots versus Liverpool's 2. Obviously, 4 shots on targets versus Liverpool's 2. Possession obviously goes in Man City's favor. Weirdly enough, although they've gotten the bulk of possession, only slightly more passes. Passing accuracy, 81% obviously to Liverpool now, with 83% passing for Man City. Obviously, in terms of fouls, Liverpool are definitely leading that. Each team has a yellow card. A few offsides for both. Obviously, 4 corners for Man City. As I said, statistically, everything is kind of pointing in Man City's favor. Definitely looking like the stronger team at the moment. Definitely, yeah, as I said, I am thoroughly enjoying this game. Looking very, very good at the moment. Yeah, a sip of my coffee, although it will be too hot. Yep, it will, because I drink my coffee black, no milk, no sugar. So my coffee will burn me if I have it now. Okay, game seems to be coming back. Manchester City versus Liverpool. End of halftime, obviously looking as things stand, Man City 4 points ahead of Liverpool on the table. As I said, is that too much? Is that too much for Liverpool to handle? Will they be able to come back? I mean, both of these teams have only lost 3 games this season. That's mental. It's just the fact that Liverpool have drawn 2 more games. I mean, that's just crazy in itself to think about. I mean, the standard of football that you have to have nowadays. I mean, you have to be near to perfect to win a league nowadays. I mean, if you think of the time that both Man City and Liverpool win like 99 or 98 points, something weird like that, you have to be perfect. You have to have a perfect season nowadays to win the league, which is crazy to think about. And it's crazy to think about a team like the Arsenal Invincibles for a second. You could be invincible and your points couldn't be anywhere near as close to what Liverpool and Man City are getting nowadays. Yeah, going to be interesting to see. Well, I guess we won't see, but I wonder what Liverpool, what Jurgen Klopp said to the Liverpool players at halftime. It's going to be interesting to see what they can kind of change around. As I said, I don't know what I can say about Liverpool's performance so much or so far, as opposed to Man City have just played very, very well. They have gotten lucky to an extent. Their first goal coming off of a deflection. Man City's first goal coming off of a deflection off of Joel Matip's leg. Obviously, the second one was just a bit of poor defense, but at the end of the day, Man City probably deserved to be in the lead heading into the second half. And of course, as you can see, Man City or Pep Guardiola talking to the Man City players, talking to Bernardo Silva, would be an interesting discussion to hear, definitely. But yeah, it is only halftime, and although Man City are 2-1 up, Pep Guardiola knows that this game is far from over. It's still crazy to think it's like with the amount of like attacking players Man City's had over the years, the fact that Liverpool have a better goal difference to me is still crazy. Although, yeah, Liverpool do have the most goals scored in the Premier League this season. Once again, it's weird. I feel like that's an area where Man City keep on improving every single year. They keep on buying so many wingers and attackers. Yes, I know they don't have a striker this season, but still, I don't know why. I always expect Man City to be like the top scoring team. But they've proven this season that they don't need a striker to score goals. They've proven that they don't need Aguero. They don't need their Erling Haaland. I mean, they don't even play their only striker they have in the club, Gabriel Jesus, in that position. They play him on the wide. But of course, here we go. Entering the second half, Man City 2, Liverpool 1. It all comes down to this. Maybe the most important 45 minutes of football this entire Premier League season. Of course, Liverpool wanting to start off thick and strong and fast. All of those good things once again. Obviously, Kyle Walker, the Man City right back, and former Spurs right back, giving away a foul. Okay, Liverpool once again starting the attacking play. They seem to really want to come back early on in this half. Of course, gets it to Sadio Mane, and it is 2-2 in 48 seconds into the second half. I can't believe it is 2-2 already. Liverpool are not giving up. Liverpool have just scored. It's 2-2. Look, it's not even a minute into the second half already. That is nuts.
That's quite unbelievable.
No, it is. They want to. No, they're keeping it close. They're keeping it close. Man City have by far been the better team, by the way, like in every way. But like as you can see, like not even a minute into the second half, you can see like they did very, very well here. Look, that pass by Mo Salah to Sadio Mane.
Great run.
Yeah, the run, the pass, it's perfect. I mean, Mo Salah, brilliant player, goal scorer, assist provider.
Beautiful. What a run.
You can't do too much about that.
What sort of size was it? I mean, I guess not.
I
guess not.
I don't.
It was just a great run.
It was timed perfectly. It was timed perfectly is my thoughts and opinions on it. I think it was really good. You can see Pep's not too happy about it. Jurgen's quite happy about it. You can see which manager appreciated that goal more than the other. What's your ideal result for this? Do we hope for a draw or do we hope for the title?
Well, I don't know. So, I mean, a draw is a bit of a damp squid. I mean, it's not going to prove anything. So, I mean, ultimately, this is almost like the final.
It is.
And I think whatever happens, you're going to be judged by this game.
Yeah.
So, for example, I mean, Man City, I think you want to win it here.
You do, yeah.
And because I think that really signifies in who's going to win. From my side, it signifies who will win the Prem.
Yeah.
It may not be the situation, but I think a draw is a bit of a damn squid.
You don't want it's like them to draw and then it goes down to the final day and the deciders against Crystal Palace or something like that.
Exactly.
You want it to be proven on the day, kind of.
Yeah.
No, I totally.
I mean, you don't get a final in the Prem, so I think this is as close as you get.
Exactly, and I think, look, mathematically, these are the only two teams that can win the Premier League. So I mean, them drawing, it's not going to shock anyone. Like
absolutely.
Going down. Of course, Liverpool get another chance. Can they get their second goal of the half? And it is shot right across the box. We'll be unhappy that no chance was taken there. A bit hopeless, the cross to an extent, but I see the vision.
So did Jurgen.
Yeah, Jurgen Klopp also saw
even without his glasses.
Yeah.
They wears contacts these days, I guess.
Yeah, no, I think I'm not sure if he got laser eye surgery or if he got contacts, but I think obviously maybe his sight is a bit blurry and he can't see. As it stands, as we can see, as things stand at the moment, Man City are on 74 points, Liverpool 73. Only 1 point divides them. We are going out of this at the moment the same way we've gone in. As you said, it would be nice to have this as the decider.
I think so.
Yeah, from an entertainment point of view. I guess because we're viewing this as Manchester United fans where we don't want either of these two teams to really win.
But that's a bit unfair, I think.
It is because for the world of football, you want an entertaining match with a winner. You don't want to see an El Clasico between Barcelona and Real Madrid as a draw. You want to see, this is the best team this time around.
Correct.
Real Madrid is better this year than Barcelona. Barcelona
Correct.
is better than Real Madrid this year. And I think this is a similar situation. You want a clear favourite.
Has Grealish come on or is he on the bench?
I think Grealish is still on the bench, the £100 million man, still on the bench. What's your take on that? Has he ruined his career by leaving Aston Villa?
I don't know. I don't think he's advanced his career. I think let me rather turn it around with that answer.
Yeah.
I mean, so many great players, they just, I don't always see why you need to move to a bigger club to advance your career.
Yeah, I mean, he's growing his trophy cabinet.
Exactly.
His legacy won't be as big.
Exactly. That's why I appreciate guys like Jamie Vardy or like Schmeichel now.
Exactly.
Schmeichel, I think in particular, could probably go to any club as a goalie.
Yeah. Liverpool get another chance. Obviously, Diogo Jota gets across into the box, but of course, Man City communicated relatively well.
Yeah, so I think I don't know. I think there's always going to be differing opinions on it, but I don't think he advanced his career. As so many guys don't when they go to super clubs.
Exactly.
Look at a couple of Man U guys that are out on loan at the moment and how well they've done as soon as they
someone like last season when Jesse Lingard went out on loan.
Yeah.
I think it's a good point you made. Like at the end of the day, let's be honest, Jack Grealish wouldn't have maybe won a trophy at Aston Villa. He would have gotten a statue, though.
Probably.
He could have gotten. Imagine getting a statue in front of your boyhood club.
Yeah,
That's almost more.
And he was. I think he was elected to play for England when he was still with
Villa. Yeah.
With Villa. So it wasn't as if it harmed his chances for international glory. So I was saddened by the fact that he left. But you know what? It goes both ways for so many players.
It does. But it also, some players can play in every system, and that's just who they are. Some players will be brilliant no matter where they go. But
correct. Yeah.
Once again, if you play a specific system, and if you play under Liverpool almost get one back, but of course Man City defended relatively well. Mo Salah obviously in the box, but not the player to capitalize on it. Obviously Trent Alexander-Arnold tries to steal the ball off of 21-year-old Phil Foden. But of course, it goes back to Liverpool. As you said, I think it's all like it didn't hinder his chances, but especially because if you work under a manager like Pep Guardiola, who, let's be honest, he is a picky man to say the least. If you don't have a good performance, there's another man waiting to put his feet in those shoes.
Well, I also think
Liverpool get a shot, but Edison saves it. Wow, what an opportunity that would have been. Liverpool could have gone ahead for the first time in the match.
I also think just on for example, on the Grealish thing, obviously Villa's entire game plan worked around Grealish.
They did, yeah.
And, you can't go to Man City and change your whole game plan for someone. Pep was never going to do that. And I think that's sometimes the problem when players go to super clubs, guys like Tony going to Man U, teams are not going to change their entire game plan to suit individuals like that. So they'll never have that level of success that they have in I don't want to say smaller clubs, but
less successful modern clubs.
Correct. Yeah.
No, definitely, you're right. Because like Man City have the strict motto: if a player gets an offer to move somewhere else, they won't deny it. It's up to the player to whether they want to go or not.
Yeah.
Which once again, because Man City, they can just buy anyone. As I said, you've got another player who will fit into those boots immediately if you don't perform 1 week. Man City get a chance into the box, but
I think that's why there'll always be a lot of debate around Ronaldo going back to Man United and is he successful or not? And once again, it's a question of Ronaldo. Man United haven't adapted their game plan fully to suit only Ronaldo.
Yeah.
So you can't expect a player like Ronaldo to have as much success at Man United.
Exactly. And he's still doing well though. He's still doing well, but people complain that he doesn't fit the system, which to me does imply that they're still playing their system.
Correct.
Because that's the only way that they can really tell.
Yeah.
But no, you're right. It's also it is that understanding of no player is bigger than the club. But obviously, it goes both ways, yeah. But definitely, if you look at the City team right now, they're not missing Jack Grealish on the bench.
No. But let's I think we all have differing views on it. I love Grealish, so I don't think he was underrated. A lot of people got comments on him now. I just think he was something very special, and I do think he still is.
Yeah.
I just don't think he necessarily suits the culture of the club. That's all.
No, 100%. For me personally, I felt like during the Euros in 2021, I felt between him, Sterling, and Luke Shaw, they were the three best players in the final 3-4 games of that tournament, because he is a difference maker, but once again, it depends on the system.
Correct.
Let's be honest, Ronaldo wouldn't work in this Man City system of running, sprinting everywhere, quick passes everywhere. He's too old for that, so not every player can fit every system, and unfortunately, I think a huge part to why Man City got Grealish was the fact that they took him away from United. Their biggest opposition, one of their biggest rivals, couldn't get Jack Grealish then.
Oh, maybe that was that'd be pretty evil, but maybe that was a thing.
Would you put it past Pep Guardiola?
Probably not.
Evil mastermind. Yeah,
there's Grealish, isn't he?
No, that's Bernardo Silva.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah,
I need to get my eyes tested.
Yeah, no, you need to Yogi Klopp your eyes.
Yes.
Yeah, no, but I'm enjoying the tempo of this game. It's very high pressure, and although, as I said, Man City have by far been the better team, they've kept it high tempo.
This last sort of 10 minutes I've seen, or the first 10 minutes or so I've seen of the second half, Liverpool have been right up there.
They've had chances. I mean, they've been maybe sloppy from time to time with like the final third kind of just finalizing their chance, but they've played well. I think they've played well. I think neither of these two teams have played bad. It's just you have to almost be perfect.
Oh, what a beautiful
ball to Diogo Jota. Yeah, I think Jota was unfortunately offside and could not retrieve that ball from Jordan Henderson, the captain. But what a piece of play that was.
Absolutely.
As you said, Liverpool, they've had their moments, and I think that's a good example of that so far this half.
Jota's really been looking good, though.
He has. I mean, brilliant player. I think, talk about Portuguese strikers going from Ronaldo now to Diogo Jota. I mean, once again, he rival if you think of him as like the next big striker for Portugal after Ronaldo? Although Ronaldo will probably play for another 3 World Cups at this exact stage in time. But yeah, I think it's going to be good. Hey man, just came back, had some food, missed Liverpool's equalizer. Obviously 2-2 at the moment. Liverpool have picked up in the second half. They scored within the first minute of the second half. Absolutely brilliant goal. It was just really, really quick to jump on it. Obviously, they just came thick and fast, and you could tell they wanted to make sure that they stayed in this game. So, other than that, I would say all you've really missed is Liverpool have played. They played well. They've been the better team in the second half.
Yeah, more attacking, definitely.
Yeah, no, I'd definitely say so.
Anyway, I'll catch you later.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for joining me once again. Of course, we're about to approach the 60th minute. We've got about half an hour left of this gigantic game. As we said, essentially, if the Premier League could have a final, then, this would be it. This would 100% be it. And there are only 30 minutes left this final. It's a pity. I almost wish there was a penalty shootout for this game. That would be brilliant. I'll say Jota's Portugal's best striker. Oh, no, that is a shout and a half. I mean, number-wise this season, Jota has been better than Ronaldo, so I get where you're coming from. But I think definitely, you know what? I don't totally disagree with that, weirdly enough. I definitely don't totally disagree with that. I think Jota does rival at the moment. I mean, we say Ronaldo and Messi is the end-all and be-all, but they are coming to the end of their careers. But Jota, at least, I mean, let's say this. When Ronaldo eventually retires or stops playing international football, Jota definitely would be the successor. He's been brilliant for Liverpool in the last 2 seasons. And to be fair, been a brilliant player in his Porto days, in his Wolverhampton Wanderers days. Just a class player overall. And obviously, he's still very, very young. Trent Alexander-Arnold obviously on the ball at the moment. Is he going to be able to create anything? Man City almost fouled Trent Alexander-Arnold in the box, obviously for Foden on the wing, and ends up clearing the ball. Gets it to Kevin De Bruyne. Maybe a foul there. There is an advantage played on. The ball from Rodri gets over to Gabriel Jesus, gets the ball back over to Bernardo Silva. Can he do anything? Can he get Man City's 3rd goal? No, they seem to be wasting time in the box. He's obviously waiting for their players to arrive. Bernardo Silva still on the ball. Is he going to get back to the likes of Phil Foden, England's young superstar? Gets it back to Cancelo. I would love the season finale in the last match day. I totally get where you're coming from. But once again, I think, as you missed a tiny bit earlier, we were talking, you almost want it to be decided now. You want a direct kind of winner here, not like, final game of the season, you beat whatever team, and that's how you ended up winning. You don't want it to be versus Crystal Palace, for example. You want it to be versus each other. At least that's my opinion. Virgil Van Dyke clears the ball, gets it to Jordan Henderson. Henderson gets it to Mo Salah, once again being very quiet today from time to time, but got that beautiful assist for Sadio Mane, who got Liverpool's 2nd goal. Ronaldo is good, but to be honest, Jota is a sensation in the league. That's why I think he's the best striker in Portugal. As I said, I don't totally disagree with that. I definitely don't totally disagree with that. I think Jota, he's got the makings of a brilliant player. He is a brilliant player. To be fair, let me not be disrespectful and say he's got the makings. He is brilliant. Sadio Mane gets the ball back from Liverpool. Of course, Gabriel Jesus, the brilliant Brazilian, who's definitely a candidate for man of the match for this game, obviously gets the ball back to the Man City defense where Bernardo Silva is waiting. They kind of step back, get ready to step up again, obviously reset a tiny bit. Will they be able to create something from these positions? Oh, Phil Foden able to keep the ball in possession. Cancelo gets the ball into a wide area. Can Gabriel Jesus get it? Of course, nothing is over. Gabriel Jesus in the box. Can he get a goal? He shoots. Virgil Van Dyke in the way. What a stop. And Thiago clears it. Is it good enough? Fabinho gets it. And there we go. Bit of a break. But of course, is there a foul? There seems to maybe be a possibility of a foul over here. Thiago given a yellow card. Needs to be a bit careful at this point. Thiago has caused 1 or 2 fouls so far this game, so he can't be too relaxed at this point. Has to be careful. Of course, Man City given a chance here to get the winning goal, but of course taken straight at Virgil van Dijk, and Raheem Sterling is not happy that he was not passed to. But brilliant play from Phil Foden and Kevin De Bruyne. Obviously, that tackle on Kevin De Bruyne is why Thiago ended up getting that yellow card. And we reset with the likes of John Stones getting the ball over to Gabriel Jesus. Been brilliant. Unfortunately, loses the ball to Sadio Mane. Gets it to Fabinho. The ball starts moving up pitch to Diogo Jota. No foul. Kevin De Bruyne gets the ball. Gets to Bernardo Silva. Phil Foden. Once again, the young Englishman can't do anything versus the other young Englishman, Trent Alexander-Arnold. The competition continues, ladies and gentlemen, as we have half an hour left of this game. What a performance it has been, by the way. As I said, I've thoroughly enjoyed this game. From beginning to end, it has been so intense. And yeah, it's been very enjoyable. I have thoroughly enjoyed it. Man City, once again, composed in the back. You expect nothing less from the super team. Kevin De Bruyne gets it forward. No offside here. Raheem Sterling on the ball. Can he do anything? It goes between Becker's legs, and it is a winning goal for Raheem Sterling. Half an hour left. Yes, I still know there is time, but City get their third, and Raheem the Dream Sterling. Talk about a dream. What a brilliant goal that was. And it was too easy. 3 Manchester City players left wide open in that Liverpool defense. I mean, they just stood no chance. And what a goal that was. Sterling scores. Yes, he does indeed. And what a goal it was, by the way. I mean, what a pass. Who was that? Kevin De Bruyne just sliced through that Man City defense. Is it offside, though? That is the question. Now, there might be a call for offside. Obviously, if Gabriel Jesus got it, it would have been offside. Sterling just pockets it straight through Alisson Becker's legs. And there will be chat. Is it offside? It is offside. It goes back to 2-2. What a game. What a game. What a game. Yes, indeed. It is offside. Is it offside? They're still talking about it. Is it given as a goal? Oh, no. Goal has been taken away, and it is 2-2. The drama continues, ladies and gentlemen. What a goal it is. What a fantastic goal it is. Ball given back all the way to Alisson Becker. Are they going to be able to retreat from there? Liverpool can count themselves very lucky for that. Yes, I know being offsiders obviously goes down to Man City, but I mean, for Man City to not have scored their third there, I mean, let's be honest. Liverpool's defense has been shocking for moments this game. It's offside. Damn, yeah, unfortunately, it has been an offside goal. Yeah, you would have hoped for better. Man City, once again, just possession bouncing between the two teams. Trent Alexander-Arnold has a bit of a slip-up on the game. Obviously, we saw them watering the field at halftime. Could that have an impact on these two teams? I wouldn't put it past Jurgen Klopp to blame it. Let's say that, at least. But of course, Liverpool get ready to step up again and, of course, lose possession to Man City. Of course, Man City on the ball, what are they able to do? Once again, Man City know how to stay composed. They know how to bring it back all the way back to their defense. I can't believe what a game this has been. This game has been phenomenal. It's been like another level. This is one of the best title deciding games I've seen in a very long time. Of course, Man City get ready to step up again. Obviously, they're kind of waiting to draw out the Liverpool players, kind of draw them out of their defensive areas so that there's pockets of space to play into. Obviously, you can see right now, they're kind of just annoying. They're kind of just frustrating the Liverpool players, kind of picking at them, saying, come here, leave some space for me. Yeah, as you can see, Bernardo Silva's been running absolutely everywhere this game. I wouldn't say that he's my candidate for man of the match, but in terms of meters ran this game, there's no way anyone's ran more meters than Bernardo Silva this game. He's been phenomenal. And his stamina to be able to keep it up throughout the whole game. Talking about Portuguese player earlier this video, been brilliant. You can see Pep Guardiola not very happy with that misplaced Man City pass. Jurgen Klopp seems quite happy at the moment, but I think telling the Liverpool players, be careful, you're leaving too much space open. Man City once again getting ready to set up another attack. As you can see, Kevin De Bruyne ready to make a running run, but obviously Laporte not quite ready to make that pass. Cancelo on the ball. Are they going to end up transferring it to that right-hand side? They've been very left-hand side heavy over the last few minutes. Gets the ball to Stones. As I said, they're moving over to that right-hand side. They're kind of annoying that Liverpool side quite a bit, obviously playing around with them. Edison, once again, gets the ball to Laporte. Man, I don't know. I swear sometimes Man City just have to grow their possession stats. That's why they hold on to the ball for such a long period of time. But obviously, I mean, Liverpool know that they can't score. They can't win if Man City hold on to it. Unless they pass it back to Edison and he almost makes another mistake like he did earlier. But yeah, obviously Cancelo gets the ball forward, but it is intercepted by Trent Alexander-Arnold. Mo Salah is on the ball. Is he going to make another fantastic pass? And he does reach Sadio Mane. That connection, it is telepathic. It is magical between Sadio Mane and Mo Salah. What a brilliant pass that was. Almost a pity that it couldn't turn into anything. But of course, another African player on the pitch, another African representative with Joel Matip, although retired from the international team. Mo Salah is on the ball. He is running down that right-hand side. But it is slide tackled by Bernardo Silva, who ends up stealing the ball away from Man City. What a play that was. Do you think that the game has slowed down a bit or still entertaining? Yeah, no, definitely. Or I'll talk after this. Obviously, Raheem Sterling on the ball. Obviously, Kevin De Bruyne is being slowed down. So obviously, kind of slowed down a bit of play there. There are talks about, is there a foul in the box? But Raheem Sterling just whining as normal. But do you think the game has slowed down a tiny bit? Maybe to an extent, but that's kind of just because it's been 67 minutes of football. Naturally, I think it will slow down. But it's still been thoroughly entertaining. But you know, I've enjoyed it. This is one of the most entertaining games I've watched in a long time. Which once again, yes, does make me sad as a United fan that we don't have entertaining games like this. But our time will come one day. I hope so. But yeah, definitely been an exciting game, and I've enjoyed it. To be honest, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Alisson Becker, once again, got the ball in defense. Both of these teams play a very similar style of football from time to time in terms of let's keep possession a bit, calm down and compose. But of course, I mean, Alisson Becker, that was such a waste. You just booted upfield, and I mean, no one's going to get it but Kyle Walker. Of course, once again, Man City on defense, and once they're on defense, once they've got possession, you're not going to steal it off of them, which, once again, it's annoying, but it does win games. By the way, what do you think about the Ten Hag appointment? I like that idea of Ten Hag as the manager of Manchester United. I think he's achieved great things with a squad that isn't the best in the world, but he's turned it into a fantastic squad. I like him way more than Pochettino, to be honest with you. I mean, Pochettino has been backed by Gary Neville, Nicky Butt, Paul Scholes, all of them. But they also all backed Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and didn't back Jose Mourinho. So, I mean, who are they to comment on our managerial appointments? I think Ten Hag has done some brilliant things in his managerial career. Obviously, I don't think Pochettino has achieved as much as people may think. Still a brilliant manager, but I do want to see more from him. But Ten Hag, definitely the manager for me. But of course, Liverpool making their first substitution in the 69th minute. Luis Diaz coming off for Diogo Jota. Very, very strange, I'll say, almost, that obviously Liverpool need a winning goal and they take off Diogo Jota. But saying that, as we've said before, a very fluid front three. Obviously, all three are brilliant. And it's tricky to say who to take off. But I guess maybe Diogo Jota, although the entire Liverpool front three have contributed towards a goal in this game. So definitely a tricky one. But Diogo Jota, brilliant player, and he deserves an applause after a game like that. Of course, Luis Diaz, the Colombian winger on the pitch, what's he going to do with his first play? Gets it to Sadio Mane. Sadio Mane gets it to Mo Salah. He takes a shot and it's just deflected. was so close. I believe that was off Laporte's leg. Once again, so tremendously close. Could have gone either way. Same man, I prefer Ten Hag over Poch, especially we need that kind of manager who can rebuild the club, and Ten Hag is capable of that. And I'm just going to say this. Donny van de Beek played under him for many years, so this is his time to shine. No more Pogba. I'll take that. Oof, that shot was deflected. It was 100% deflected. So, I mean, but unlucky there, to be honest. But I guess the referee saw what he saw. But once again, weird mistake. But it was definitely deflected. 20 minutes left, ladies and gentlemen. It is still 2-2, 20 minutes left. If something is going to change, it needs to happen soon. But, I mean, this has been such an entertaining game. I wouldn't be surprised if there was an 89th minute winner, to be honest, or like a 90 plus 8-minute extra time goal. I would almost expect that. Virgil Van Dyke defending from the floor. Obviously, I mean, Kevin De Bruyne left wide open, but unable to do anything as Liverpool's defense was very sharp in that moment in time. Ooh, Fabinho, a bit of a reckless tackle. Man City with the ball. They have so many players in the box and they shoot. It hits the net, but the outside of the net. A brilliant performance so far today from Gabriel Jesus, but not in the back of the net with that one. Yep. I feel good for Donny. I mean, hey, it's. I think this is Donny's time to shine for United if we get Ten Hag, to be honest with you. Although, I mean, at the moment, he might even get relegated with Everton, so not that great. Although, I mean, leave it to United to lose to an almost relegated Everton team. I mean, shocking stuff. But of course, going back to this game, I mean, as I said, been tremendously exciting and lots of teams, I mean, lots of chances for both of these two teams and lots of chances that haven't been taken, weirdly enough. But that's always going to happen with such a competitive game. You're going to take so many chances because you know that could be limited. Trent Alexander-Arnold, a bit sloppy to give away the ball to Phil Foden. A brilliant spin to get it to Kevin De Bruyne. Of course, he's still got the ball, but Sadio Mane defends it, running away from that Man City attack. Obviously gets it to Thiago. Robertson on the ball. We know he's very calm and composed. Gets it to Sadio Mane. A bit of a weird mistake there, bit of a fumble, but still gets to Jordan Henderson. And of course, the captain gets it to Mo Salah. Doesn't create anything though, as Cancelo stops it comfortably. Losing to Everton is a new low. Yeah, I tend to agree. There's nothing lower losing to Everton, to be honest with you. I mean, I would prefer losing to Norwich before, but I mean, I can't say that because I think Norwich might be our next game or something like that. So let me not comment. Yeah, I think it's like Norwich, Liverpool, something like that. But as I said, what a phenomenal game this has been. I mean, both teams have genuinely given it their all. And I don't know, Man City keep on doing the lofted lob pass over the entire Liverpool defense, and it works every single time. Like, surely, like, Liverpool have to realize they keep doing this, it keeps working, we need to change. But, you know, they keep a very compacted, like, back four. So they don't let anyone go through centrally, but their problem is they let way too many chances come through the attack. Imagine we lose again. Nope. I'm not imagining United losing to Norwich. I'm not even going to joke about that because I know it could happen. Of course, Liverpool or Manchester City are going to make their first change of the game that I can remember. 74th minute, Raheem the Dream Sterling, obviously goal scorer of that wannabe third goal for Man City, comes off for Riyad Mahrez. Of course, Riyad Mahrez, an absolutely brilliant player. Not too long ago, he was the best, given the African Player of the Year award. He comes on off of the bench, and once again, just an example of how brilliant this Man City team is, especially in terms of their squad depth, to be able to take off Raheem Sterling, obviously versus his former club, Liverpool, where obviously he really started his career. He does come off for Riyad Mahrez. I mean, what a brilliant team this is. What's the plan now? Riyad Mahrez, what's the plan now? Once again, it's a very, very, very tricky one. But I think Man City, they just do what they keep doing. I think they've got players, they play a specific system, and the players just fit into it perfectly. But at the moment, looking at things, I can't really see too much in terms of where players are standing. Riyad Mahrez, obviously on that right wing side, his favorite side. Of course, Riyad Mahrez is chasing down fellow African Sadio Mane, unable to stop him, passes to another African in the likes of Mo Salah. And once again, both teams have been playing tremendously well. And Liverpool have had a lot of attacking chances as of late. they will want to take them if they do want to take this one home. Joel Matip, obviously, once again, he's had a really, really good game. He's been making brilliant forward runs, almost in a similar fashion that Antonio Rudiger is known for. But once again, he's had a really, really good game. And once again, just such a strong partnership between him and good old Virgil van Dyke. Ball gets forward to Fabinho, absolutely brilliant defensive midfielder. He's had a good game as well. And with 15 minutes left, once again, if a change is going to be made in this game, if there is going to be a winner, it has to almost be now. What do you think about Luis Diaz? Has been incredible for them. I think he's been a brilliant player. I don't know if you've seen this, but I've actually got a video about Luis Diaz on this channel. And Liverpool get across into the box, but deflected off of Rodri. I've actually got a video on my channel about Luis Diaz, telling you a tiny bit about the history of Luis Diaz, from his family and everything about him. So make sure to go check that out. But I think he's a phenomenal player. I think he actually is almost like the successor to Mo Salah or Mane one day when they leave. I'm not saying he's anywhere near as quality as them, at least not yet. But definitely, I don't think they're going to be lacking in quality if they end up losing a winner. I think Luis Diaz is a brilliant, brilliant player. And definitely one for the future. I mean, last year was the tied top goal scorer in the Copa America with Lionel Messi. That ain't too bad. Of course, Liverpool get a corner into the box. Falls to Jordan Henderson, but Man City able to defend it. Obviously, Kyle Walker, fastest man alive, should change his name to Kyle Runner, ends up getting the ball upfield, and it is comfortably defended by Man City. We'll surely check out that video. Yeah, I think just 5 things you should know about Luis Diaz. I think it's called something like that. But yeah, wasn't done too long ago, maybe a month or 2 ago when he ended up signing. Jordan Henderson, the El Capitano, is being subbed off for Liverpool with 13 minutes left. And of course, another African player, Naby Keita, will be substituted on. What can he do? Yeah, agreed. Liverpool already planning Mane Salah replacements. I even heard that City already looked out for Pep's replacements. That would be an interesting one. Once again, I've got no idea what Pep's ambition is with Man City. I think if he wins the Champions League with them, he's done all he can and he'll want to leave. That's my opinion. But yeah, I don't even have a clue to who would be able to replace the likes of Pep Guardiola. Would it be Zinedine Zidane? Would they replace a bold man for a bold man? Yeah, we would have to wait and see. But I can't even think of another manager on the same caliber as them who would replace Pep. Maybe one day, like a Xavi from Barcelona, but that's still a very far way away. Of course, ladies and gents, we reached 12 minutes left for this game, 11 and a half minutes. It is still 2-2. What a fantastic game it's been. It is still all up for wins. Anyone can win it. Luis Diaz, the Colombian, running up the midfield, obviously gets it to Naby Keita, substitute passes to substitutes, gets it to Fabinho. Fabinho kicks it upfield, but it is defended by Man City. They're doing relatively well. Obviously, maybe a foul there on Phil Foden. It is an advantage, obviously, the likes of Joel Matip able to outpace Gabriel Jesus. You know, Joel Matip is a fast player, Like, I know he's a defender and defenders aren't, seen to be the fastest on the pitch. But Joel Matip is fast, Like, he's incredibly fast. Same agree. Pep might leave after winning the UCL. Also heard that Brendan Rodgers and Ten Hag were choices for City. I don't think Brendan Rodgers is all that hype, to be honest with you. I think he's a brilliant manager, but not a Man City manager. I don't think he's quite there yet, to be honest with you. I think he's brilliant, but not quite at that level. Ten Hag, I could see that. I could see that. Not just because he's bold, like the other managers we've mentioned, but he's a brilliant manager, and I wouldn't be too surprised, to be honest. Yeah, we'll have to see what happens. That's going to be a very interesting day in the world of football when they have to replace Pep. Because, I mean, Pep at this point is so almost synonymous with Man City and like their current success, obviously. True, Rodgers isn't close to Pep. I don't think. I think Rodgers was good, but a few levels below Pep. Riyad Mahrez running down the wing. Is he going to be able to create anything? A player who scores special goals, ends up passing it to Kevin De Bruyne, but it is defended relatively safely, although sloppy, by Liverpool. Luis Diaz gets the ball up to Sadio Mane. Is he going to be able to create anything? Obviously, Sadio Mane, very comfortable and safe on the ball. Thiago, once again, a player who didn't enjoy his first season at Liverpool, looking relatively good now, gets a ball to Trent. Trent trips it over the Man City midfield, but is met by the Man City defense. And of course, ladies and gents, we've got 9.5 minutes left of this terrific game, this final of the Premier League. It is still 2-2. Anything can happen. It is all still up for grabs. What will happen is the big question, of course. Are Man City going to be able to create anything? Once again, I think they're going to want to step back a bit, obviously see if they can draw Liverpool in a tiny bit. Of course, the second I say that, they end up getting a chip over to Cancelo. Cancelo gets a brilliant pass into Gabriel Jesus. Unfortunately, a poor first touch. Obviously, Luis Diaz ends up getting the ball. Obviously, a fresh set of legs on the pitch as a South American superstar. Going to be able to create anything? Unfortunately not. And Riyad Mahrez, another substitute, able to, well, unfortunately not do anything from Manchester City's point of view. Loses possession immediately. Oh, a tiny bit of a weird play. Bernardo Silva seemed to have fouled Sadio Mane, but no kind of whistle blown for it. Obviously, Fabinho ended up tackling him straight after, and that was given as a foul. Obviously, Bernardo Silva still on the floor. Will be interesting to see if a card comes from that. Obviously, Liverpool fans aren't looking too happy. Man City fans aren't looking too happy. And a stretcher might be called on from the referee. Yeah, Bernardo Silva. Oh, no, actually, didn't end up fouling Sadio Mane, but was heavily fouled. Bernardo Silva was heavily fouled by Fabinho. And is there a call for... Oh, that could almost be a red, you know. The obviously cleats of his boot end up, or the studs of his boots end up stabbing the side of Bernardo Silva's ankle. I mean, I've seen red cards given for stuff like that. So I'm not saying it should be. I hate when red cards are given so easily in football, but I wouldn't be too surprised. But it is just given a yellow. I think the ref is understanding the kind of pace of the game and he doesn't want to disrupt it. Liverpool pulling off too many long balls instead for direct passes. Yeah, I tend to agree. I don't think Liverpool aren't going the easy route. I don't think they're playing. I don't think they're just being direct about it. They're not going for the quick passes. They kind of just want to shortcut it, kind of skip the whole midfield and cut straight to the attack. It's not how it always works. Obviously, Kevin Bruyne, the Manchester City captain, obviously able to take a free kick here. Bernardo Silva seems to be able to walk, so he is not going to be substituted all with injury. Of course, is Kevin De Bruyne going to chip into the box? Can Rodri do anything? No. Sadio Mane kind of puts Rodri off. Brilliant defense. Brilliant piece of play there. Obviously, Kevin De Bruyne, as we know, brilliant and so dangerous from those positions. Is a real game changer. And of course, Liverpool to make another sub. Obviously, the likes of Mo. Is Mo Salah being subbed off? Surely not. No, he's not. He's staying off. It looks like Sadio Mane will be the man to come off, and Bobby Firmino will come on. I'm going to assume that Bobby Firmino will play in that false nine position that he is so famous for. And of course, we've got Luis Diaz and Mo Salah as the two wingers. I feel like Liverpool almost need to bring on Divock Origi if they were to guarantee a last-minute call. I feel like that's how things work for them. Exactly, trying those Hollywood passes might cost them the game. Exactly, like you don't need a good-looking pass to be the assist. Just play simple. That's just how you win sometimes. You have to play simple football. Oh, and of course, Thiago, a player who's already on the yellow card, ends up causing a foul on Kevin De Bruyne. Is this going to be a second yellow? I think it could be. I think we could see Thiago Silva get sent off here. What's up, fella? Hello, what is up with you? Obviously, we are in the last 6 minutes of the Manchester City versus Liverpool game. It has been a fantastic game. I'm assuming you've watched it as well, or you are watching, or whatever you're doing. But it has been an absolutely fantastic game. Origi is the perfect super sub. I think best super sub in modern day football at this point in time, especially now that Jermaine Defoe has retired. But of course, 5 minutes left, and I'm going to say it's a big call that Thiago wasn't given a second yellow, to be honest. That wasn't a red. The fact that he's still on, that is terrific, to be honest. Saying that, where is Thiago at the moment? There he is in that defensive midfield position. He is going to have to be careful. As I said, he's been very hot-headed this game. and that could cost them. Luis Diaz obviously trying to steal the ball off of Kyle Walker and Rodri. They're not giving him the time of day. Man City once again passing around those defensive areas. Ladies and gents, are we going to see a late winner? Do you guys think that we will see a late winner? I wonder. Obviously, Ashmit and Elias, I see you guys obviously are the two most recent comments. What do you guys think in terms of a winner? Do you think that there will be a winner in this game? I mean, I wouldn't put it past it. Obviously, Jack Grealish on the pitch, Man City's number 10. Will he be able to make the difference? Can the £100 million man make the difference? £100 million, it only takes one goal at this point to make the difference. Phil Foden steals the ball in Liverpool's defensive area, but goes straight to Alisson Becker. Obviously, Liverpool almost seemed free in that Man City defensive area, but passed back casually to the good old Edison. Obviously, I hope so. Yeah, I kind of hope that there is a winner at this point, just from an entertainment point of view. As per how the game is going, we can even see a winner in the 95th minute. 100%. I couldn't agree with you more. I think this game has held absolutely everything from an entertainment point of view. I wouldn't put it past this game to have a 95th minute winner. It has been phenomenal. Man City able to keep their hold of their position there. Good old Jack Grealish gets a forward pass, obviously, to Cancelo. Unfortunately, unable to make anything out of it. Is Joel Matip, I think, asking for a throw-in. Obviously, Cancelo's got himself a throw-in at the edge of the Liverpool box. Will he be able to create anything from it? Obviously, Jack Grealish not really running into a good attacking area, in my opinion, although wins it in the Liverpool box. Jack Grealish, terrific on the ball. As we know, he's the man who can win penalties, obviously given to Rodri. Obviously, given all the way back to Riyad Mahrez, an absolutely brilliant player. Gets to Bernardo Silva, who's been running absolutely every which way so far this game. Been brilliant, but Liverpool seem to have won it. It bounces back to Man City. Can Man City do anything? No, it is going to be Joel Matip who defends it well. I mean, Joel Matip is a real shout for player of the match, to be honest with you. I mean, he's been brilliant in that Liverpool defense. Cancelo obviously gets across into the box and almost a sneaky angle, but Alisson Becker did have it covered. Not quite going to sneak in. Oh, that was a very close one. That was a very, very close one. You know, all I've learned from this game is how brilliant Portuguese players are. Like it's no surprise. But I mean, to watch Cancelo, to watch Bernardo Silva, to watch Diogo Jota, I mean, there are just so many brilliant Portuguese players that seem to deliver. Portugal could have a really good squad for this upcoming World Cup. Which, as I said, guys, don't forget, if you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe, because I will be doing lots of World Cup content on a very regular basis from this point, like on a weekly basis at this point. And yeah, Portugal definitely a team to talk about. But of course, 88th minute, of course, Kevin De Bruyne making an attacking run that has been fouled at the edge of the Liverpool box almost, of course. Yellow card given to Virgil Van Dyke. Kind of had to make a tactical foul on Kevin De Bruyne, but once again, a bit of a silly one to give away, to be honest with you. But of course, 1 minute left of regular time. Can Liverpool do it, or can Manchester City do it, should I say? I mean, Manchester City have a free kick at the edge of the box. As we know, it's not totally against the run of play for someone like Kevin De Bruyne to be able to score it. I mean, he ain't no Ward-Prowse, but still a brilliant player. But yeah, the game shows how far the other 18 teams are from these two teams. Yeah, 100%. The fact that Man City and Liverpool are miles away from everyone else in the Premier League. I mean, two of the best teams in the world, untouchable at the moment, to be honest. I think Chelsea, close third, but at the end of the day, it's a very clear-cut decision on the best teams in the Premier at the moment. Man City take the free kick, and of course, it just goes wide. Riyad Mahrez, the Algerian superstar, almost scores from a free kick. That was different. Yeah, Man City and Liverpool are a different level, 100%. I mean, you can never write them out of anything. Oh my God, Riyad Mahrez was close. I mean, that free kick bend was absolutely brilliant, but unfortunately, just not enough to sneak into the box, into the corner of the box. Of course, we've got 5 seconds left of regular time. I mean, what a game this has been. Who does this points help, in your opinion? To be honest, well, whoever wins it is obviously top of the Premier League at the moment. So, I mean, only mathematically, only these two teams can win the Premier League. So I don't really care too much. I mean, to be honest, I think almost Yeah, as I said, I actually don't have an answer to that, to be honest with you, because whoever wins this game, I think, will win the Premier League this season. Bobby Firmino ends up getting a chip cross into the box, obviously gets to Man City. Are they going to be able to counter-attack? Obviously, has Kevin De Bruyne foul-played Fabinho? Is that a card offense? That might have been dangerous. Obviously, got his studs in the air. That could be dangerous, you know. Are we going to see a Kevin De Bruyne red card? Imagine that. That was a dangerous pass, you know. Kevin De Bruyne obviously puts his foot out, does his studs. His studs do catch Fabinho. Is that a red card offense? It could very easily be a red card offense. Imagine the scenes. To be honest, I'm kind of waiting for a fight. I mean, this game has been so tense, I wouldn't be surprised. Kind of agree that this is a title decider. Well, as I said, I 100% think it is. I think if Man City win it, they go 4 points ahead of Liverpool. They've definitely won it. If Liverpool win it, they only go like 2 points ahead of Man City. So it's still not quite done at that point. But yes, it's definitely the title deciding match. 4 minutes left of extra time. We are 91 and a half minutes in. Trent Alexander-Arnold with a corner or with a free kick at the edge of the box. Could he do anything? Gets across into the box, but does not meet Virgil Van Dijk's head, although Liverpool still attacking this corner or this free kick, unable to do anything, and they pass it back to their defense. Gets the ball all the way back to Alisson. Will he be able to create something special? Gets the ball forward, gets it to Luis Diaz, does not win the header over Cancelo. Jack Grealish, the £100 million man, can he do anything special? No, he gets... Oh, it doesn't even get fouled. He doesn't even do what he's known to do best. Oh, brilliant player. Obviously, Mo Salah doing relatively well. Obviously getting up the pitch, but Man City get to it. Are you ready for the for AFCON qualifiers in the next FIFA window? Well, I think the AFCON qualifiers. Yeah, I think that could be. I'm relatively ready from them. I still have to do all my research and I have to prep for that kind of stuff. But yeah, always enjoy my African football. I love my African football. Definitely gotten into it over the last year. And I think you only have to watch a game like Man City versus Liverpool to realize how many African superstars there are. Joel Matip, Mo Salah, Sadio Mane, Riyad Mahrez, the list goes on. Naby Keita, some brilliant African superstars. And ladies and gents, we have reached the final minute of extra time between Liverpool and Man City, and it might go down as a 2-2 draw. Imagine the scenes, but of course, Man City win back position. This could be their last chance this entire game. Kevin De Bruyne with the pass. Oh, gets it all the way to Riyad Mahrez. Can he do anything special in the final minute? No, chips it over the net. Can you imagine the scenes? Chipped it over the goal. That could have been the final. Oh, can you imagine if that was the winner? 40 seconds left on the clock. Riyad Mahrez could have done something special, but under pressure, unable to deliver. Riyad Mahrez, you've had some brilliant chances, but just not it. What a waste. Yeah, what a waste indeed. But once again, I understand where the pressure came from. Kevin De Bruyne, once again, has been brilliant this game. Another shout for man of the match. I want you guys to put down, comment who it's your man of the match been so far this game, because there definitely are a few shouts. What a game. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is it. That is it for Manchester City versus Liverpool. It ends 2-2. What a fantastic game that was. As I said, I think just looking at these two teams, they all gave it their absolute all, and it was definitely something special. This live stream has been a lot of fun. Been live streaming for 2 hours and 20 minutes. As I said, what a phenomenal game it has been in general. What a game. Well, see Pep's passion in the handshake with Klopp. Yeah, to just watch Pep, Guardiola, and Klopp. Two terrific managers, and this game means so much to them. And a draw to an extent, maybe a fair result. I think it's been a fantastic game in general. Definitely good. Hey Finn, how we all can connect with you? Any socials? I don't really use too many socials. To be honest with you, I'm looking to set up socials, to be honest. You can go to my Instagram, I guess, which is It's Actually Finn. If you do want to comment there, at least in the meantime. Let's see if I can get it in the comments. Let me write down It's Actually Finn if you guys want to talk to me privately. Otherwise, yeah, I'm always in my comment section and when it comes to YouTube, all of that kind of stuff. I do eventually want to maybe get a Discord sorted, all of that stuff. But yeah, I've really appreciated you guys sticking around for this live stream. But of course, that is it. I mean, as I said, what a game. Manchester City 2, Liverpool 2. I mean, you could not ask for a better game. I mean, it is a bit pity that it didn't end up being the title deciding game. I would have absolutely loved to be the winner of this title, this Premier League season, to be decided this game. But that doesn't always end up happening. But for Liverpool, for Jurgen Klopp and his men to come to the Etihad and to get a point, I mean, once again, absolutely massive game. And these two teams, as we've said on so many occasions, as we have emphasized on so many occasions, are just miles ahead of every other club in the Premier League at the moment. It's a good result. It means our league will be more entertaining. Yeah, it's just that it didn't decide it. And thanks for the social. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is essentially it for today's video. I mean, as I said, thank you so much for joining this 2.5-hour live stream. I mean, in terms of a player to watch, I mean, as I said, there's so many stars on this team. I think Gabriel Jesus, a real shout for man of the match. I think Joel Matip, a real shout for man of the match. I mean, Mo Salah had a good game. Sadio Mane had a good game. There are so many players that you could say, oh, good call for man of the match. Bernardo Silva. Yeah, as I said, I've got absolutely no idea who my man of the match would be for this game. It's definitely a tricky shout. But I mean, you guys can always put that in the comment section down below. But guys, thank you so much for watching. This has been Finn, FYNN. Until the next live stream, thank you so much. Love and appreciate every single one of you. I mean, the title race continues, I guess. Cheers.